Welcome to Project Epoch. I'm Bull Critter Steve, and I'm joined tonight by Bull Critter John,
Hello.
by Corinth, and by Son of Pookie. And we're going to be jumping into more of our world creation here. And Corinth is going to go ahead and pick up right here and give you all a recap of the last session. So
All right, we're going to be. Sorry. Go ahead. We're going to be starting Age 2, Round 7. We finished up Round 5 and Round 6 last week. Due to Steve not being here, the kids have been going a little crazy, so we've had a lot of wild, crazy shit going down. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it makes for entertainment. We are down to only a few avatars. We had several of them die last time. We saw Kuzis, who was one half of the Weave, take his revenge on Wakaflak and on Skarn. And not only did he kill both those avatars, but he subsequently destroyed their races. So we are down to about 7, maybe 8, 9 races. We have Sento still. He is the troglodyte avatar. We have Renaud, who is a fox anthropomorph who is currently looking for the acid dragon. We have Lasermane, who is a lion anthropomorph. He has currently created this council, a high council that's a merging of many, many races. We have Shadakar Wallace. He's a lion anthropomorph. He has been waging guerrilla warfare on the Kaya Dune. We have Kurgan, who is the Dampier avatar and is in control of multiple different sub-races, and they're working on bringing lots of shadowy nastiness over to this world. We have Barak the Seeker, who's a Scar Elf. He has learned of the prison inside of this world and has started to come to the understanding that things are not as they appear. And we have Whisper Letty, who is a Hawkman, who is in charge of the Flock of Steel, which is basically our Space Force. But he is actually a slot infiltrator who is working to sow chaos. So we've got a lot going on. We've lost the Great Horde. We have an alien verdant island that has tripled in size. Appears to have some far playing qualities going on. We've created some new sub races. We got a lot going on. We have a couple of old races that have come back due to the destruction of Wakaflak, who is a very powerful psionic goblin. The Garoks and an amorphous race that came from our previous world, who have kind of laid dormant, have been reawakened. So we'll see what they end up doing. And we have also the Salmon have reemerged due to Renard, and they are assisting him in his quest to find the acid dragon. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Steve.
All right. So as we do, we're going to start off with getting our initiatives. So if you gentlemen would be so kind as to hit those D4.
Oh, shit. I need someone to roll a 4. Damn it. All right, so
well, it looks like Corinth and Pookie are going to have to re-roll, and then me and John will have to re-roll.
Haha.
Okay, well, ain't that a bitch?
All right, it looks like our Master of Disaster is going to be first up.
Oh, for some reason I thought I was.
No, it's Joey.
Yay!
So we're looking at Pookie.
Not my name, dude.
But Master of Disaster sounds pretty good. So it looks like it's going to be Pookie than me.
Corinth. John, we rolled the same thing again, so one more time, please.
Here it comes again.
If it does, I'm just making John go before me. All right, and then it's going to be me. And then to finish each one of these phases off, it's going to be John. All right, and I believe I was told there are little cards to show what the phases are.
He's so proud of those cards, too.
Yeah, where are those cards at, John?
What, you mean the one that's up live?
Oh, okay, fantastic,
Ooh.
cool.
Oh, it is up live.
Is it actually
All right,
up?
so
It is
yeah,
up. I'm
is
actually
up.
watching the feed on Twitter. I mean, on
John,
Twitch. Ooh,
John
Twitter.
is on top of that stuff, you know. All right, so we're going to be jumping into the creation round, and with creation, we're starting off with Pookie. So,
He's like crap.
Hi,
right,
Overlord Pookie.
I'm gonna create a race.
All right.
I gotta find the map here.
He's like
All right.
some kind of creature.
All right. Dead air. Dead air. Dead air. Dead air.
Oh, it's
I
such
was
dead air.
told just dancing doesn't work because it doesn't make any sound. So now I gotta be
Corn.
Yes.
Go ahead and break it down. Get you dancing. Who's
That's
the
right.
Grumpy Viking?
Grumpy Viking, that's am I allowed to dox him? He is my sister-in-law's
I know who it
longtime
is.
boyfriend.
I know who it is. What's up, Grumpy?
So,
How you doing, brother?
So.
All right, Pookie. You got something?
something.
Yeah.
We can only stall for so long.
You can always stall. Come on, you got to keep stalling. I'm gonna create.
Oh no, you need more stalling. I got you, man.
we got so much stalling. You're going to call us Russia? What? Oh no.
What?
We're already starting with the comedy kill.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a long campaign.
Where's my widget at, John? Where is my widget?
We're working on it, Corin.
God
Shut
damn.
up.
Actually feel completely lost. I'm going to create a race of
So the widget thing I was looking up. So what I was planning on doing is actually creating a GIF, and I was thinking like a Zelda-like character or something, poking a heart, and each
Yes,
time
I love
it
that.
does. But the thing is, I could do something like that now with the GIF and the unrelated counter, but only us in the chat could control it. And I'm trying to determine a way that anybody in the chat could control you guys murdering the fuck out of comedy.
That sounds great. By the way, I do appreciate the fact that you say GIF instead of GIF. Like I know the person who created that word says GIF, but it's clearly graphics, so it's GIF. So,
well,
I appreciate
there are
that.
examples you can use in both ways.
Well, yeah, I'm going to create a GIF.
Yeah, fine with me. I could give.
Okay, I'm gonna steal an idea that we had from the other game. I'm
Okay.
gonna create a race of sentient items. So they're gonna be called familiars, and they're gonna come up in the reef. So this reef that has the metal gnomes in it, this race of sentient items is gonna pop up here.
What kind of items are we talking about?
So it's comprised of everything from armor to weapons to items like lanterns and
I'm
candlesticks.
curious. I know that we normally don't touch on stuff like this until conclusions, but do you have any idea where they might have come from?
Yeah, they're going to come out of the wreckage of the star metal gnomes that got reawakened.
Thank you.
Last stage.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So that latent energy.
So are there any star metal gnomes left, or is it just like the star elves?
No, they got reawakened. Like that's actually I believe if I look back real quick, the metal gnomes actually started having problems with the metal the reef elves had problems with the metal gnomes, and of course that didn't go so well, and they were all converted into star elves. So there are metal gnomes and star elves.
Okay. Corinth.
It is.
All right. Well, geez, we were too busy going stuff like that.
While you're thinking about it, Corinth,
well, I
I have a question for the rest of y'all. I know that we brought the treants back over from the other world. Did we bring the great tree over as well?
Yes, Yule is not used though, right? He's an avatar that's not being used.
Yeah, he's like
No, not Yule himself. Or is Yule the tree?
He is now.
Is the tree, yeah.
Okay, cool, fantastic. I had this idea and I'm probably going to use it, but cool.
So, I'm trying to think of like a word for it. So out of that alien verdant area with the far plane qualities, I want to create like a race of like they're in the freaking daggone Lords of Madness. It's those little worm things that can combine together to create, and like they can body snatch. I'm trying to remember what they're called though.
You mean the Caius worms?
Not the Caius worms.
So you
Not
want to
the
make like puppet masters.
Kind of like puppet masters, yeah, but like they're the ones where like they're like single strand, but they'll bond together to form like more to like they're like these writhing masses of like muscle. So I know what they're called. I will go out.
I just thought of a feature you could add to that.
Sure.
That kind of makes it unique.
What do you want to call them?
It kind of turns into other things too. What if you said they strand together, right?
Yes.
What if they operated almost like cranium rats. Maybe not with psychic power, but with some trait. When all of them more are banded together, some particular aspect of it becomes even more powerful.
Oh yeah, that's actually kind of how. Yeah, let's come up with a name for it. Yeah, that's what I want. It's something like the more that bond together, the more sentient it becomes. Like the smarter ones, and the old strands will sometimes reform into like sometimes new strands will come into the old one because some of the old strands die off. It's like an ever living creature. So I'm trying to think of a good name for it though.
Well, Lovecraft has a tentacle monster that's a writhing mass of tentacles called Kassogatha. Yeah, so Cassoggtha.
I think it might be an H in there too. So. Yeah.
So how about like Sogoth?
Sogoth, I like it.
Sogoth. All right, and they're actually on. I'll put them on there. They're actually in that tentacled verdant forest.
All right.
The first bird.
Wait. What are you calling them? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Sogoth. Sogoths. Like that's Sogoth, dude. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Sogoth.
So I had an idea, but I'm gonna divert from it, and I might maybe do it later. We'll see. The blue gnomes, are they still alive or did they die off?
No, the blue goblins got smoked.
Blue goblins. Yeah, they worked with the lizard folk to try to rise up.
As a race, they were entirely wiped out, or
like mostly.
I think they only their city's gone, right?
Yeah, their civilization's gone.
So they, as a race of creatures, exist on the realm, but they don't have a civilization.
I'm going to make a blue goblin avatar.
Okay.
His name is Archibald, or it sounds quickly said as Archibald, but it is Aren't You Bold? Archibald. And he is entirely upset with the state of things, but it's not upset at one particular race. He is upset with the world. So it is Archibald, the Plague Master.
How do you spelling that? Like AREN?
RCH, yeah, Archibald.
Yeah, the last blue goblin, as far as we understand, the blue goblins, do they think they don't know the dude was possessed when he walked back into the city and blew himself up? So the last thing they know is the leader of their people blew up their own city with a Akira bomb.
Yeah.
And his sole focus and purpose is to exact vengeance on all beings, including his own race. He's just a ball of hatred.
How does he view the earlier avatar of his race?
Apparently, he was a failure. He killed us. Everyone killed us. So I will kill everyone. I will bring pox and plague upon the realm.
Hashtag angsty teenager. Right. Gotcha.
I mean,
Sogoth
was right above him, so Sogoth and Archibald might be friends. John.
It can't already be on me.
Oh yeah, it is.
I'm last, right?
I'm last, right? How's this shit work?
Okay.
Hey, look,
idea
I'm here this week, so there's no room for you to pad it and pass it to someone else before you take your turn.
Well, I don't do that. I'm ask for open ideas and input. No, I had an idea, right? About
fuck off. That's what he's saying.
Test world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was early this turn, and I already fucking forgot. Excuse my language. Most of the idea, but this was the thing. So this is the prison world, right? The vortex that brought things over, that wasn't just an accident. Somebody was trying to use the other realm as a prison break into this, over a course of all time. And so then I started thinking, what are all the things that are from the thing that came over that could then transfer that motive into this world?
I am generally confused, but I'm just going to go with this.
Okay.
You're good. I was like,
shoot. I don't think a god would touch putting a new race on this thing in 100 million years. They're like, yeah, I'll pick a different world. We're solid.
We're out for this one.
Yeah, we're good at this. So, I think I'm gonna take Barack the Seeker, and avatars can create.
You want him to create an order?
No, I wanted him to create a civilization in the under. Like it's an outpost that's been there for a long time and is now built up to like a logistical center that they tried to like reach out from. And their contact actually is rather limited back up because of how far into the depth of the system I say that this thing kind of formed itself.
Okay. So Barack is creating an outpost inside the prison plane.
That'll act as another city or a city for this group of people.
But he's creating an outpost inside the prison plane, basically?
Yeah, inside the down, whatever the fucking side.
Okay.
Metal.
All right.
Stuffs.
With that, do you have a name for that outpost yet?
Okay. Yeah, I'll get it.
I'll get it.
Wait a minute. You're building an outpost right now?
Oh, I'm building a city, right?
That's for the next round, man.
Oh yeah, you're in the wrong round.
Create. I thought.
Oh no. Yeah, it's order or sect within a civilization. Yeah, you can create a race and order an avatar right now.
I don't care if you do it this round.
Yeah, I don't either. I was just confused.
Okay.
I think I got confused with the old rules where the avatars had the ability to build their own things. Okay, well,
by the way, we haven't mentioned this in a while. Dawn of Worlds is the original system that we use for this. We have taken it and restructured it, but you can use it as is. It's a great system. We had a lot of fun with it. So I just want to make sure you give a shout out to Dawn of Worlds.
Okay, so thank you for that pickup, by the way, Corinth, that got me to my idea. Barack the Seeker is what race exactly again?
He's Scar Elf.
Scar Elf. Okay, so now what we're gonna be doing is creating. Fuck me. God damn it! I hate this race. I was gonna say, okay, what he'll do is a sub race will be created, and what that is the people on the furthest reaches of said network system are so inclined to the world that they're in, they're actually dark, better, you know what I mean, like more inclined to the Underdark. But it's not technically the Underdark, so it'd be things like instead of
we already have the Dark Scar Elves. Do you want to like do something with that, or
are they down there now?
Yeah, they went down there with him.
Oh, okay. Well then, shit. Okay.
Why don't you just hey, if you want to create your city, create your city.
Okay, yeah. Then yeah, that's
just
what
create your city, dude.
Damn it, they'll create this city, and it's not even by plan. Like if they could have built it in better spots.
How about this? How about instead of a city, how about you create an order who builds outposts? Like that's their job.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, well, there you
go.
Outpost.
Hey, you know you can always build the city on rock and roll, so hey, it's okay.
Kind of like how the Romans used to like camp for a night and build a fort, like in one fucking night. Like they specialize in building like fortifications or
reconnaissance forts and stuffs.
Or like when they took out that Jewish stronghold and they built this gigantic ramp. Like they had some amazing builders.
Dan Carlin's Hardcore History is the best show ever, dude.
Yeah.
That Mongol thing.
You talk about that shit for like 4 hours.
The Mongol thing with the tables and the Russian.
No, he did a whole one on the Romans, dude.
Yeah.
When they annihilate all the Celts, like they killed all the Celts.
Yeah. The Boudica and
so when people were like, I practice ancient druidic magic, I'm like, where did you learn that from? They're all dead. Like anyways, what are you gonna name this city? Oh, what are you gonna name this order?
What's their language base?
I think we quit doing language base.
It was Native American.
Oh, it was.
They were the first ones we did again.
Yeah.
I'll get back to you.
Okay.
That's my round.
Okay. Well, that brings us out of the creation phase, and that's going to bring us over to the command phase. I'm sure John has a fantastic card for that. I don't know if he has it up yet or not. I'm not looking at the stream. But with that said, we're going to pass the ball back over to Pookie.
All right.
So
Let him
Letty's
take over command.
going to command the order of the pale steel to begin constructing specialized weapons out of this metal that they're finding.
Oh, the flock of steel.
Yeah.
And
And
that's
this metal.
not the pale steel metal. That's the metal that came from the sky.
Yeah.
Well, some of it is a pale steel metal because like
It's pale steel metal that's been
because it went up into the sky.
He's going to command them to make like swords out of it, kind of like a Sith alchemical swords. So they're not necessarily magic, but there's some kind of technological sword. I don't know, like a vibro sword maybe, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like not a lightsaber.
Yeah, they're like Veskar or something like that. Like there's something just about it. Which, by the way, if you haven't finished The Mandalorian, it's fucking amazing. That is the best shit Star Wars has put out in a long fucking time. Oh, it's my turn. Motherfucker. So, what can I do? What can I do real quick? Hold on. Gotta go back and look at my list. Command City. We got...
Baby.
Who are you yelling at? Oh, look.
Oh, hold on.
So, the Sogoths are going to specialize in a technology.
And where are the Sogoths again?
Those are the aberrations,
Oh,
living in the verdant forest.
Oh, the verdant
Yeah.
forest. Yeah.
The worm-like creatures, yeah. They're going to specialize in trying to think of the word for it, like mind mat, not like not telepathy. I don't even want to do that either. What would be they really good at? Honestly, like they're going to specialize in becoming tunnelers. They got to get off this fucking forest and spread, and the only way they're going to do that is set up like underground areas. So they're going to become like expert tunnelers. So,
How big are they individually?
each strand's roughly about 4 feet long, about I don't know, that big around.
Kind of like snakes.
Yeah, like snakes.
Snakes.
There's like, and that's like full grown. Like they'd be much smaller at first. So, all right. So I have burrowing aberrations.
Two
Yeah,
Vikings.
sorry, I'm eating, man. I tried to get my food early, but it didn't come until like right now.
It happens.
Hey,
Two
hey, okay. I really thought you were going to do the whole like being like, you know, right here the whole time. Like I was expecting this.
Just
I
the
thought that
eyes.
was going to be
I was gonna
just
do
the
it, but
eyes.
John was getting all upset about it. So
I
I
wasn't.
know he's like,
high.
he's like, I wasn't upset. I
move
wasn't
it back.
upset,
Hold on.
but I can't
So
hold this
have the name
forever.
for your fortress. And who's up next?
That's gonna be me.
Who's on first?
That's me.
I mean, Pookie.
So the name for that fortress downstairs, while Steve's thinking about what he wants to do, will be Fortress Ilde. So Il Day is actually the Navajo for reach.
Okay.
And so I'm going to turn that into ILL Day, one word, Ilde.
Okay.
And it kind of, has a double entendre meaning. And it'll be Ilde
Ooh.
This
Fortress.
is perfect, right? Like it's just eyebrows and eyes.
Now I've
Or
got
the Ilde
to I've got to ask real quick. You said the horde got destroyed, right?
Yeah. Like
Taken out.
the only ones who really survived were the troglodytes out of the whole thing. Like there are still proto lizard folk, there are still primal lizard folks, but as a nation, it was destroyed.
Yeah, so like they probably have Hamlet still. There's still villages. There's still, but they don't
Right.
have an operation. There's no
And there's- yeah,
government. There's
There's no con anymore.
centralized city.
The
No.
Mongols got fucked. That's what happened.
Does that mean Sento is dead?
Sento's still alive.
Sento's alive.
Sento did live.
Which one?
He actually Sento is the troglodyte one. He actually retreated deeper into the rift, and that's when he created the subrace of Durgers. They're like this, but they're scaled dwarves. They're not like just your normal Durgers. They're actually like a scaled dwarf.
Okay. Cool. Now a lot earlier on, the troglodytes had formed an army of shamans, right?
Yes.
Fire shamans. The city they have, the city that they had originally built, I forget the name of it, I have to look on the map. The city that was built to try and make peaceful relations with the weird fucking the Eternals.
Oh, the Tsunagi.
The Sunaga.
Tsunagi.
Sunaga. Sunaga as a city is actually going to create a wonder.
All right.
It's essentially a like a communication. It's not for scrying. It doesn't let them actually look at things, but it allows them to do distance communication.
Okay.
Because Sento remembers the boons that were given unto his race, or the Horde as a general standpoint, by Rend. And the goal of building this is to communicate with Rend or any other powerful entity that is outside of the Earth-locked creatures.
Okay. For people in space.
Yeah.
So he's making.
So by contrast, he'll be able to talk to the flock of steel too.
He's making a SETI array, like NASA. We're sending out a signal into space and hope to get somebody to reply in like 45 years.
I mean, its primary goal for him is trying to get in touch with Ren, but
Yeah.
it's not like a focus thing. It's just going to blast the message out.
So just like SETI. It's literally exactly what it is. Pretty cool.
And the entire array is powered by the channeled energies of the shamans. So it's shamanistically charged.
So.
Well, that brings us to John.
Uh-oh.
Brings us to John. Well, why the would it bring it to me?
like I'm last or something.
Okay. This one you get to create a city.
Yes.
So I guess I can finally create a city.
You just created a fortress.
In the round I'm supposed to. I was gonna say that I don't have an avatar, but a group of people with, I guess, an ensemble leadership decide from the Hawkmen that while this is their home, it's not their first home ancestrally, and they want to create another city. And they're going to go over here where there's less middle of the world shit happening constantly.
It's a little safer.
And they're going to, in this little nice little hollowed out spot up here, they're going to create a little city. Yep, in the mountains.
Up in which mountains?
Bottom left. North of the Eye of Ridiculousness.
Ridiculous.
Okay.
Huh. Near the old Pure Makeoff folk area, huh?
Yeah, I finally went into the map there and added the salt flats.
I knew. I saw that.
And as we keep going along here, next week there's going to be a more significant impact on the map. I finally got a little bit of my mojo back. So.
Hell yeah, there is. We're going to have a cataclysm at the end of this fucking session, so all this shit's going to fucking die, probbly.
It's fun, too, because it means, like, what we got to make sure we do is during the event phase is we got to change a whole bunch of landscape.
Okay, cool. I mean, definitely. Why not?
Why not?
You said the
Conquest
Hawk folk
phase.
are building a city down there. Do you have an idea of what you want to call
Yeah,
it?
I am going to get that right now, sir.
He's looking for something in Portuguese.
Okay, cool. That means we're moving right along to what, the conquest phase?
Conquest phase. Conquest phase.
Who still has armies?
Conquest. That's a good question.
That's a great question. I know, like the Shadar, there's like the ongoing war between the Kayadun and the Tiger Anthropomorph and his
Shadakar
homies.
Wallace.
Shadakar Walls. Yes. By the way, I want you to know, Pookie, that I had some people comment on how much they loved all of your pop culture references. They really enjoyed all that. So your mastery of filmography is pretty good because you're like quoting shit.
There we go. I put it into roll 20. Now I can
Calm
hear you.
Evento?
Calm Evento. All right.
Calm Evento means the calm wind.
Nice.
All right, I'm going to have the the Ractonian army is going to move on the meerkats this round.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
There, Tony said, fuck that meeting. We're gonna fuck that laser man guy said.
Yeah. They feel like the undead threat in the south is becoming too large. Their army has pretty much been like close to home the whole time. They're going to finally start moving on the undead and try to defeat them.
Yeah.
Get them off this island that they're on because they're in the bottom part of it.
All right. That's going to bring us over to Corinth.
Let's see. I want to have the Star Elves form an army. An army of like with merging with them and the Metal Gnomes. Because Metal Conquest.
I mean, we tried to kill the metal, but
you just can't kill the metal.
The most metal elves ever, dude.
Still in the ICU. It'll hold tough though. Don't worry, guys.
All right. So actually, even though they don't have a formed civilization, Archibald is going around and picking up desperate members of any race that's available and forming them into a peasant army.
Does he call it the Plague Wind? Please somebody calls it the Plague Wind.
And
the goblin.
Although he's not really worried about if they can or cannot fight, he begins seeding his plagues through the army before preparing to send them into wherever he wants to send them.
Or is a peasant army?
Disco never wins.
Watch out for those plague ninjas, because every peasant army is going to have some fucking ninjas.
Except for the Clash. They're disco wins.
Just killers.
And they're just going to be called the Pox Wind.
Poxwood.
The Pox Wind is sweeping through. Okay. So,
and again, they're made up of any race that, like, if he finds a couple disparate anthros and a couple of,
he takes
whatever
everyone.
he can find. Everyone gets into the army, and everyone takes their booster shot.
Come join my army. I mean, cult. I mean,
would you like a vaccine? Don't worry, there are no side effects. I promise.
Yeah,
I'm not anti-vaccine.
I'm not anti-vaccine.
Not anti-vaxxer, I promise.
I'm.
Disco did try to kill the metal.
The other one took 4 months.
Okay, John. Conquest.
Okay,
John.
I have an idea.
Oh Lord, an idea?
Yeah, a whole one, like a full ardor. Okay,
a full ardor.
So as the undead are pushing, dang it! I just thought I had the mouse and put like 4 dots.
Just keep dancing, dude.
Here, right here.
Just keep it moving.
Just keep it moving.
Right here.
You can dance. I can dance.
Okay, so
I want to learn some TikTok dances. Like,
I'm trying to present my idea now.
That's my out of control.
Is my mic on? Is anyone listening to me? Go ahead.
I can hear you. Come on, guys.
So, as they push the undead down south, I was going to say they create another army, and that entire army is to create a line so that no matter what happens to the army that moves south, once they gain a certain amount of land, they know that they won't lose it back, and they're going to start that, or at least their goal is to start that by putting it down at the desert's edge.
Hon, who is this? The Meerkat folk or?
The Ractonians build a relief army.
Later, they can.
Okay.
Yeah, hold that line.
That's actually a really good idea on their part. All right, that brings us. Well, that brings us down to the events phase, correct?
It is events phase.
Events. There we go. Pookie. Start breaking stuff.
It's not my job.
Okay, start fixing stuff.
My job is to build and make beautiful things.
Okay, well,
I'll be honest. All the things that Pookie has built are mind-blowingly amazing.
so that guy's looking for help, right? Archibald, is that his name?
Yeah.
Yes.
So Archibald and his army gets summoned by a fox named Renard up to this area up here at the top. And the summons says that if they want power, they should come to this area.
Renard, that bastard.
Cool. I like it. Which area did he send him to?
Up here.
Okay. Okay.
Hidden
Oh, yeah.
castle in the Vale on the mountain.
Oh yeah. Now Renard's not down there because Renard is currently looking for the.
Isn't-
He's still
isn't
looking for the acid dragon.
Isn't there a god or something?
Yeah, he's the one that
Maybe
sends
about-
them he's the one that brings them the message, though.
There's something else of power in there, right?
There's that lady in the castle.
Is that an avatar already, or is that just an entity?
Not
She
yet.
is an unnamed creature.
Okay.
All right. Well, then for events, we have Corinth.
All right. So last round, Shadakar Wallace had found the plans for the Disc of Judgment. He has finished rebuilding the Disc of Judgment.
I forgot that we did that. That's fun.
Yeah.
Who is building it? What?
Shadakar Wallace
Wallace.
found the plans.
He shoots lightning out of his eyes and fireballs out of his ass.
Finishes reconstructing
Right
the
here.
Disc of Judgment. Those poor Kayadun are going to be like, that doesn't look like a moon.
Up in the hills. He's like, he's gonna aim it straight down here. And unlike the last one, there was like a swath across the land because it was being moved. This one's just gonna be hitting one spot. It's just gonna
It's this giant crater.
Did something happen to the Anthropomorph capital? I believe.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember
Yeah, the
him.
whole thing. Yeah, that got smoked.
it's flat and gone.
So
Yeah,
the Nil
it's
Giants.
It's like
So-
a city now, though, right? I built something here. I built
Yeah. So
Oh yeah.
So the Proteus Reach was up in the sky, shot this nasty beam of shit at the Nil Giants who are on the other end of the world. They reflected it statically and then sent it with more power back at the Anthropomorph base, thus destroying the Anthropomorph's main base.
Yeah, flat.
And
like
someone built a new city there or something?
we
Yes.
have a avatar
Laser.
that got created, and his name is
Lasermane.
Lasermane, and he went back and built a city there.
And Lasermane was the one that's more nature loving, or is he the one that
Yes.
wants to be?
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
the
he
one that's
ascended.
the
He's some
reason
kind
we
of-
got blown up.
Yeah, he's
is
some kind of
because-
neo druid, right? That's what described
Yeah.
him. as.
Yes.
He did something with
Okay.
these pylons too. I think he made these pylons into some kind of device too, or he was doing that.
Teleportation circles.
Yep, teleportation circles. They go to like
Okay.
other verdant areas.
So Yule is over in the what used to be the Acid Lake, correct?
Yes.
All right. Someone secreted away one of the seeds of Yule and planted it in the city of Shadakar Wallace. No, Lasermane. Lasermane, sorry.
Oh.
And essentially over this round that grows into a monstrously large tree. Like you know how like in Zelda they have the big ancient Dooku tree or Deku
Yeah.
tree or whatever it's called. So there's a monstrously large tree that's just growing in the middle of the city now.
Is Yule still alive back in the old acid lake that's now dried out?
Yes, because remember, so
Well, it's not,
The
it's not
Yule-
acid
okay.
anymore. It's like
yeah,
healing.
that's
It's
why I
all
said it's
healing
dried
waters
out.
now.
because of the dragon tears and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I just didn't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
if
So we also have
Yule-
life giants. I forgot we have
Yeah.
life giants too.
The treant came back. I didn't know if I couldn't remember if Yule came back.
He did, but he doesn't partake. He's like Ezra's name. He just kind of.
Ah.
He's just. You can use it now
And-
during this phase. That's what they're for. They can do
John.
events and shit.
Yeah, so yeah, that's right. Because we also have life giants. We have the Lachey still. We have life giants because they're the remnants of the Nil giants that got changed, and we have the Yule, and we have Yule and the Trents. God, jeez, I forgot we had all
And
this extra shit.
They built a city called Valhalla, like something.
Valhalla, that's right.
Yeah, it's in the Acid Lake. I saw that. What used to be the Acid Lake.
Yeah,
So we have life giants.
life giants.
They built an army too of like clerics that
And what
just heal people. They did that shit
position
last
are the
round, too.
Slad in at this point?
Okay.
The Slaughter are just the Slaughter,
Slaughter
not
dog.
an actual race anymore.
Yeah,
They're
race war, okay.
they're
I
an
was about to
order.
do that. If they were still a race, it's gonna be like event. The Civil War pops off in the Slad world because of complacency and power vacuums.
Yeah, no, actually they're doing quite well now.
So you said life giants, Lachey. There was a third race that was just mentioned. Wasn't
Trents.
Trents.
Okay, I know my event.
there? They
So the
weren't on the list you gave me earlier.
I know. I just remembered them.
You're good.
The Farplane Island here, that the Sogoths are the proprietors of. So we said that this island up here, with the changing water levels and all that, had the vine stuffs, and even
Yeah, it's
the
all
water-
gone, isn't it? That whole island's gone, isn't it?
It exploded.
I
Yeah.
was thinking with the way y'all described that explosion, I was going to leave little chunks of land there and just make
Sure.
it look like
Yeah.
a giant crater.
Sure.
Okay, well, let me back away.
Like a little chain of islands now instead of that big ass
Yeah.
island.
Well, no. Then I'm gonna solve a landscape problem for when you have to redo something. So, since this faraway island or far plane island is just floating, and a
Mhm.
lot of this was just floating, so we're gonna go ahead and say that what ends up happening is far plane fauna grabs onto these bits of land, and they actually all kind of converge together into one larger island where the far plane fauna is mostly dominant
Yeah,
as
it
a
was all-
collection of what was left of all that.
It was already growing last round too. So you're just gonna make
Yeah,
it
so
grow
it's
even
just
more?
itself pulling itself onto that.
It's pretty much like pulling the distance in half between the two and any remnants, and just kind of becoming bigger.
Okay, so the far plane isle overgrows the shattered isle.
Yep.
Yep, and brings all the shattered isle into the far plane isle.
Okay, that's interesting. One can do all sorts of horrible, wonderful, fun things with that. That means we are off into Avatar Land.
Yep. So first it's going to be Pookie, and he has Sento.
Sento.
Bend your
Quick-
ass, make your knees touch your elbows. Sorry.
I'll transition that over. Here's the phase breakdown list, everybody. Of all the things that can happen when we roll. So Sento rolled a 1.
Yep, he's gonna found, destroy, or steal a technology.
Destroyer, still a technology. And where am I finding Sento again?
Sento's in the rift.
Yeah, totally. He's the
All right, he's gonna. He notices that Barak and the Scar Elves that were there have left, so he sends people down to investigate the prison plane too. And while he's there, he manages to steal that codex that Barak has, or his people do. So Barak no longer has the codex that he was using to map out the prison plane. Now Sento has it.
Uh-oh.
Okay. That brings us to Corinth and Renard.
That's right. Let me get over to the other screen. Sorry, I'm typing.
Renard.
10. 10 is
Subrace.
Subrace.
oh goodness gracious.
You
Huh.
just bump into all the desperate.
Yeah. So he's going to create a sub race. It's going to be all those people. Well, hell, we didn't decide whether or not. So would Archibald take that army to the northern castle? Do we think?
Yeah, I mean, I think.
Okay. So
Archibald would definitely send the army. He won't go himself. His
Yeah, he
goal
wouldn't
is
go
to
himself.
create spread plague.
yeah. So because of the plague that's already inside of them, this unnamed creature is going to basically Unicron the shit out of this whole group and turn them into a new race. And how about like
Foxwalker.
The
huh? I was thinking of
I
like
said poxwalkers.
I was thinking of something like and something insectal. Maybe. Like I don't know. Plague bearing beetles or something. That sounds kind of terrifying. Like giant rhinoceros beetles of plague.
How about scarab beetles?
Scarabs. There we go. I like it.
Plague scarabs.
Plague scarabs.
Okay, and that means it's my turn. I have laser mane.
Mhm.
Okay, let's see.
Uh-oh. It's also another sub race.
And laser mane's very nature oriented. You said, right?
He is, and now he has a giant tree there.
Mm-hmm. But he's techno nature.
Slightly. I mean, he's actually trying to get away from that. I think the only thing technology based on him is his mane, actually. And I know the mud methods live over that area too.
Does Lasermane and his people have good relations with the Mud Methods?
Yes. They are not at war at all.
Yeah, when they're not
Okay,
using
well-
shit boxes.
He's the one
He's
who- isn't he?
he's going to use the connection he has with the Mud Methods to pull on their connections to creatures of those realms,
Mhm.
and he's going to bring the Mist Methods out since they're all around the water.
Okay.
So the race of Mist Methods will join Lasermane.
Okay.
Is that kind of like Tefuri's Island did it all?
Jeez. It's like the island of Dr. No.
No,
All
no, I
right.
mean, in Magic, there was a wizard named Tefari, and to protect his
Oh.
people, he created like a cloud around his island so you couldn't see it.
Dude, I thought you were totally making like a furry reference. I was
No,
like, wow.
Tefari.
Yeah, I thought you said like
Tefari.
furry.
Shadakar Wallace and John.
Shadakar, okay, come on. Time for Bruce Wallace to get beheaded. What is it, D12?
Yes.
D12.
You only transition over, and I roll a 11. What do we got?
Avatar death.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think that third I killed.
Third or fourth.
John,
dude.
the killer of avatars.
We'll just put that he dies and we'll deal with that in resolution.
Freedom.
I gotcha.
Oh no, all I gotta say is this:
Oh no.
It
It's going to be
definitely
a
has
disc of
something to
judgment
do
issue.
with the brand new put together disc of judgment.
Pookie.
Oh, deaf.
You've got Kurgan.
The damn Peter.
Six. That's form an alliance with another avatar, hinder another avatar, capture an avatar, or kill an avatar.
He's gonna
Which one was Kurgan?
he's
the
gonna
Dampiers.
yeah, he's gonna kill and turn Shadakar Wallace.
Nice.
Okay. That brings us to
I have Barack
Corinth,
the- Yeah.
and you have Barack the Seeker.
Who just got ganked. Well, they didn't get ganked, but his shit got ganked. 3 is
Three. Form an alliance, break an alliance, start a war, broker peace, trade deal, or assassinate figure of power.
well, he's gonna Well, he's gonna break an alliance, obviously, with Sento. So that's gonna have some issues later on.
He knows that Sento stole it.
Yep.
Yeah, he'll figure it out.
Funny, I almost did an event before Joey presented that idea during the event phase where the people that were in the under area were coming
Mhm.
back with all these crazy like their psyches were getting fucked up, the Scar Elves.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Because of the fact that the world isn't what the world seems, and so there was going to be like a border conflict between their own race. And then I went with
Whisper Letty is a Hawkman.
Yes. He's also the leader of the High Council.
Yeah, John's
Oh,
like
yeah.
Whisper Letty is going to form a army of Whispers.
Is that
He's totally
that's the
Palpatine.
council? Or and that's the
Yes,
slide.
the army of Whispers is for the council.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's like the Praetorian Guard of the council.
Is it just a guard, or do they like go do whispery shit?
Oh, I'm sure it's a little bit
Well,
of both.
Probably both.
clearly, they do whispery shit since they're guarding every senator and official that's of any importance that comes to the council.
Yeah.
They get to overhear every conversation.
Yeah, they're probably blackmailing people, like all kinds of shit, dude. I would assume.
Okay, and that's the Slod
That's the Slod,
a
yep.
Hawkman.
Yep.
But he's
Yes.
Slod in faith.
He's actually the only man so far, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
That brings us to John and Archibald.
Oh man, I hate to kill your avatar right after you. Man.
Here it comes. Here it comes at 11.
Close.
Oh, close.
Close as.
Ooh. Subrace.
Okay, so Archibald has been doing bioterrorism research and fucking with things, bodies, and this and that. And in doing such, he has created a mesh that is a horrendous plague creature. Probably has some kind of radius thing as a race. And it's a combination of all the disparate races he'd been gathering together into one creature. So, like, part goblin, part animorph of this animal or that, part lizard folk.
So,
So they're mongrel folk.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mongrel folk, yeah.
No, what's that thing? What's that thing that the Zamisi make?
Oh, you're talking about the Vizide?
The Vizad. You should call him the Vizad, dude.
Well, yeah. Make some name play off of it.
Huh.
The
Vizard.
Vista D. The Visa D. Yeah. There you go. Add an eye to it.
Okay.
And then you can't be sued.
I'm pretty sure they didn't get that word themselves. So.
It's probably,
That's a pretty deep track. That's
probably
pretty deep track, bro.
it's probably like some Romanian word, dude.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it's wrong.
Monster or some shit.
Probably is. That's where most of the stuff come from, anyway.
Oh shit, we're on the resolution now.
There's no more avatars. Is that it?
That's
No,
it.
that's it.
Oh,
You're now in a resolution phase where we all try to figure out what are the results of all the steps that happened this last round.
all the shit we did. So, something we didn't touch on that we didn't fully resolve last time, and it's fine. That I think it needed another age. Does Renard and the Salmon what happens when they find the acid dragon?
I think they should find him.
I
sure.
think that either we do it here or we do it as an event.
And the acid dragon's sentient and running around still right now, right?
Yeah, he's in the water. He's
He's
just
in the ocean.
the acid lake drew up, and he was like, "Fuck this, I'm
What
out."
is his motivation right now? Just fuck off, or
Yeah,
We
I don't know if he
don't
really
know.
has one.
yeah, that's what I'm like.
You know, it's something that we really have never touched on.
He was always just
Okay.
like a force of nature to begin with.
So
He just kind of has left the world be and do what it does.
I got an idea. So when Renard gets there, she takes control of him. The lady in the castle takes control of Renard, and she forces Renard to sacrifice himself, like Kuzis
Kuzis.
did before. So Renard basically throws himself into the maw of the dragon. But unlike before, instead of becoming an avatar, this gives the woman control of the dragon now. So like the dragon becomes green and like his eyes glow like this bright neon green now, and his instead of being acidy looking or black, wherever it was, where he's like blackish green now. Almost like in Ragnarok when she animates the undead, how they get that sickly green glow around them.
Okay.
That's what it looks like. And now she has control of the acid dragon. And Renard is dead.
And Renard is dead.
On the Kuzis thing, when I was going back over everything, Kuzis leaves and comes back like 3 times. He comes back as Kuzis the Black, and he comes back again later as Kuzis, and then like after
And the last time he would be
then-
like Cusis the Shattered. The last time after Weave is dead.
After Weave is dead, because that's who's left with Kuzis. The
Yeah.
other half of Weave was always Kuzis.
And
Yeah.
now they're
He's
both
just-
gone.
Kuzis is now a different thing.
No, I think he's dead. I think once he used himself to blow up those
He
two
allowed the
races,
dragon to
that's
eat it, to consume him.
Yeah, he was done. But the Kuzis story is going to be so dope to go into because you got to imagine the characters change throughout the transitions. It's almost like off the
It's
grid.
also going to be interesting to get into the mind of a sentient ooze. Like,
Just
you know?
imagine
That's
you're
true.
playing.
So I had an idea for the seed that was planted in Lasermane's city,
okay.
and I could do this with the next creation round if y'all want. But I was thinking that a Fey entity ends up becoming bound with the tree. And I don't think it should be an avatar necessarily, but it is a creature that is bound to the tree, but is almost clairvoyant enough to be avatar level.
So like a powerful dryad, basically.
Yeah, a powerful dryad, but the not actually a dryad though. It's more of like a trickster spirit.
Okay.
It's something that I've used in one of my campaigns before. I call it here, and it pretty much turns the tree that it's bound to into a chaotic bar that people end up adventuring to. It's kind of like a questing hub.
Nice.
But if y'all wanted to be an avatar, it could be an avatar too. I just think here makes a better entity because although he's powerful, like almost impossible to kill, and he has realm level control inside of his bar, he cannot leave. He does not
What's the
have
name-
the
what do you
ability
do?
or
Hey,
capacity.
I got an idea for it. What
His
if,
name is here.
Yeah, what if he is
Like
what,
HERE?
Yeah, here.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Fey.
can I pitch this real quick? What if
Mhm.
what if he's not Fey? What if he is the draconic embodiment of sound that came from this cave that was destroyed and collapsed here? And he's a dragon of like pure
Yeah,
sound.
the,
And
the sound dragon.
the sound dragon
the
goes
remnant.
into the tree. Yeah.
No one even knows. It's like the heart of chaos or the heart of the
So
healing.
I do like that, but does it still work with the chaotic bar, all that other aspect of it?
Oh yeah, it's
I mean,
It's
remember how
Just where the entity is sourced is different. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, remember how we called it the whale? Like it was just a
Mhm.
sound, like this emanating sound. I mean, that to me feels chaotic in nature anyway. If it's just a loud pulsating sound that constantly ricocheted. off
might-
everything.
So
play a personality change in your concept of the thing based on
and that way it doesn't have to be your other character. It can be like a conglomeration of different things. You know what I'm saying? We can make him our own then, so he's not just necessarily from your
that's
other
fine.
games.
I love that idea. So how do you all feel about
You know,
Yule's tree?
it's chaotic.
Do you guys still dig?
have
Do you
to
guys still dig the tavern idea though?
Yes,
Yes.
that's what I was gonna say. That's why it's interesting because he's almost like a living layer, kind of.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say too is chaotic sound, so you can go with jazz.
So how do you
Yeah,
how do
I-
y'all feel about
I love how I play all the
the
wrong notes out of
how do y'all
order.
feel about the tavern? Like it just the tree kind of melds itself into being this tavern. Like nobody fucking carved into it or anything. It just happens.
Yeah, it just
And then
becomes
at one point, on the side of the tree, it just says the Wailing Willow.
Quick question: with how
The
big
whale
was
Nice.
the tree
About-
being?
What about like the Banshee's whale? No.
The Banshee's Whale, I like it.
Banshee's well, Wailing well, either way. I think Banshee's well
like-
sounds a little cleaner.
I like Wailing Well too. Like
The
not
Wailing
willow. Well.
I like
A
that
well.
because it's a well is a place to drink.
Yes. And it's
I-
also it
I
also
I like
holds
that.
It's got alliteration. I like it.
the
Okay,
Wailing Well.
real
Yeah,
quick,
it's nice.
I had a question just for my mental imagery, right? So this thing's a huge motherfucking tree, right?
Yeah, it's a massive tree.
So beyond just like the sign appearing on the side and the tavern, can we say over the hundreds and hundreds of years the city grows, if everything continues without getting blown off the face of the earth, that the part of the village actually grows up around the tree as well, like built into the side of the base of the tree and maybe
Sure.
up a bit?
You don't think too far into the future. You'll just be
No.
disappointed.
But who knows? But yeah, I don't see any issue with that. Do we want to give it a different name than here? The entity running the bar.
Or it's more of
You
a
know,
sound.
dude, I like the name just because
Here.
it's so
Here,
yeah,
here.
it's so enigmatic. Like I like it should be something like that. Like it should be like here or whale or like it should be something that's not a thing. It's like an idea.
HMMMMM. Because it's
Just-
a sound.
No, because I think of butthole surfers when you do that.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Seriously? Okay, never mind.
What about
I like here, dude. I think here works. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like
here
too.
All right, I'm good with that.
Cool.
So I was gonna say that up in the Scar and all that, especially after the recent developments of espionage. But I was already gonna say, like, during the event phase, I was really tempted to say, like, because of like staying away from their community for a long time. This is hundreds of years and stuff, and the whole new developed community. It's kind of like Expanse, where you got belters, right? So you have these people that lived under that for so long and far away, and their understanding of what the world is as a function is totally different than surface people. And when they interact, I think eventually a chasm is going to form where the people on the surface are literally just think these people are fucking insane. At least the average person.
Yeah.
The one that wasn't sent down to get a codex anyway. And so I think I was thinking about like a border dispute or like just like civilians that get in.
Or basically, like you're not allowed to trek into or out of the Underdark anymore.
They close it off as a border now, and they're like,
So like the Eternals and the Duergar would actually say like, nope, no one comes in anymore.
well, I don't even know about the internals because I think it might even be further down the lane. Like these people are kind of separate of the Eternal, the Seeker, because if he was part of the Eternal might try to remove them from the infestation of the layer as much as they've been able to get there.
Now, is it that they're just blocking people out, or are they starting to become like exceptionally xenophobic?
I think they're becoming more xenophobic, just because like.
And is it just the Drugar that become xenophobic?
No,
You talk about the Scar Elves?
Yeah, I'm talking about the ones deep in with the Seeker and his people.
Oh, so like just the Dark Scar Elves.
The Dark Scar Elves, yeah. Like wherever the border comes into their thing now, like it's getting more and more volatile, and then now it's just border, unless you got reason, unless you got pass, etc., etc. Just tensions increasing.
So the Dark Scar Elves become xenophobic.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I hate to do that because it makes it like fucking.
That's okay. It happens. It's a natural thing.
Okay, so I have an idea for the Shadowcar resolution. So since he turns him into a vampire, he's going to turn him into a. I don't want to call him Zamisi, but he basically turns him into Zamisi. So he's like a cyborg version of it. So instead of infecting flesh of like vampires, it infects technology. So he's almost like kind of like the legacy virus in the X-Men. Like whoever else has technology in their body, if he comes in contact with them, they begin to get infected.
Nice.
And as a result of this, basically all of his people, all these animorphs that were following him, they all become Zamisi too. So they're all undead now.
So I'm just writing this down.
How does the distant judgment play out?
Well, yeah, so I don't think he would use it on the Kaya Dune anymore.
Yeah, I don't think he would. I
have an idea. Who would he use it on?
Well, I think at the end of this, he does die one way or the other, right?
Well, yeah, he dies, but he's undead. Basically.
Oh,
he's undead.
Is he going? I thought Avatar dead. Like,
yeah,
he doesn't have Avatar steps anymore. He's just like a force in the world. But I have an idea for the canon too.
Who would he blast?
After he becomes Zamisi, he infuses the cannon not with like plasma power. He uses the power from the zombified plants,
the coatls and stuff.
Yeah, he puts that into the cannon, and then he shoots this thing right here.
Hold on, what am I looking at? Let me get back to the map.
He shoots alien. He shoots the alien. He shoots the alien plant with the zombified plant shit.
Oh my God.
And that's the Wallace.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now remember, this is also like all this now too.
Yeah.
Apocalypse.
I'm just trying to figure out real quick. All right.
Start this shit around early, dude.
Well, I just keep thinking about what the mycofungal did to the last world.
The other world, yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking too.
It's the same mycofungal, isn't it?
Yep, and it doesn't affect undead, and that's what he is now. So basically, he's blasting the rest of the world with this shit that's gonna turn him into plant zombies. But he'll be fine. He assumes he'll be okay. The Dampier will be okay, and the other
this
ant.
far plane material. So who the fuck knows?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to react to the far plane material. Honestly, that's something we could talk about.
It makes far plane energies become sporadic.
Well,
So
my
like
idea is
spores.
it becomes full on the color of space. It becomes full on Lovecraft. Like it just becomes the worst thing you can possibly imagine.
Yeah, it doesn't do what he thinks it's going to do. It doesn't like
No.
zombify them all out and shit.
It doesn't. It turns them into like cosmic horrors, like all this shit.
Oh, I assume that's what it was generally now. Like,
But it's getting worse. Like it's growing. It hasn't, you know.
Yeah, it's not
Okay.
like it's not the blob yet, you know.
Oh no, I was just thinking.
What
Okay, it's the spores, and then one of these things that creates spores mixed with that thing that creates spores, and then it creates spores that generate like, I don't know, third the surface of the planet.
Have you ever seen Color of
Uh,
Space with Nicolas Cage?
I have.
I
it's
have not.
wildly visual.
It's fucking great. But yeah, it, basically it starts to metamorph things, mutate everything.
Okay.
That's what happens in that movie.
Out
Does
of
it affect the
curiosity, what?
Go
Does
ahead.
that affect the Sagoth?
Yeah, I had an idea for them too next round. I was going to create an avatar for them, and this works really good now.
So this basically amps up. This basically
sort of-
infuses the energy with more. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
No, go ahead.
I was trying to figure out. So like basically, this is going to infuse it with even more. Like it's going to amplify the far plane aspects already of this area.
Yeah, it would be like it almost makes them more apparition like, I guess that's the best way to explain it. Like far more apparition like than they were before. So before we said it was like giant tomatoes and like big vines and shit. Now it's all fucked up.
Now there's like
Yeah.
tentacles and shit just fucking everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all,
Growth. I like that.
I had an idea
like
for the Sagoth language system. Has anybody read the second Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Charlie and the Glass Elevator.
No.
No.
He encounters an alien race that look like pipe cleaners that spell out every word they say, but it's still not easy to read necessarily.
Yeah.
Because of the words being used.
Out of curiosity, just moving it along a little bit. What are we going to have happen with the plague army that goes to the entity to the north?
Well, they're gone, right? They get
They were turned into a race of plague
they
scarabs.
got turned into plague scarabs.
yeah.
But
So they're
but
like
now, but now
plague
what does she want to do with them?
colony face.
Well, what I was gonna do with her is she creates the army for him for what's it, Archibald.
Yeah.
But she now controls the army, and she's willing to give him back control of this army, this gift, but he has to like align with her. So he has to physically go to her like Renard did before, or she's gonna keep the army for herself.
And it's a sub race, right? So this is like the army then settles there. They slowly transform to plague scarabs, kind of like the Greek island pigs, men to
So-
pigs.
Yeah, so Archibald also realizes now that he knows. I think he realizes now that she can't leave the castle because now she's trying to bargain with him to get him there. So now he knows that whatever she is, she's trapped there. She took his army, but now he knows that she can't leave that place, or at least he assumes so, right? Because otherwise, when she's coming out to take him,
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying, Joey, on the like Greek island thing, right? Like the sign, like they pull you to the island, and then you turn from a man
Interesting.
to a pig.
Yeah, I would expect it's probably a pretty quick turn, honestly. It's probably like some high level magic.
yeah, she basically just. I mean, the way I saw it is she just you know how they were like already animorphs and like different races and shit. She just like pits armor on them, and they become death scares.
Yeah,
basically.
they slowly like they plague into it, so their
Yeah.
bodies fully conform to their
Yeah.
scarab shells.
Yeah,
I
it, like
that.
grows into their bodies basically, and like they're they're like kind of like Hela did at the end of. I keep referencing Thor Ragnarok. I mean, remember when they came back, how they were just in their armor and shit, but their armor like fused with their bodies,
Yeah.
and they're undead husk. It's like that, but they're not undead, right? They're still alive. They're just filled with disease.
What I
Okay.
mean is, they still live as people or a race, right? Is all I'm
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah,
like,
they're plague
not.
scarabs.
They're not
They just are
automatons.
people.
They're an army.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, but there's a whole sub race. So like,
Yeah. They're now they're basically becoming a race of plague scarabs.
Hey, thank you for the compliment. I don't know how to say that word. Pangolin Paul.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Golian?
that's one of my kiddos at the high school. With his
That's
Cardella.
Okay. That's awesome.
Now,
The next thing I kind of go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, would Archibald go up there, or is he going to be content with not having that army anymore?
If he did, I would go up there with the intent to blow shit up, right?
Archibald is completely content. As far as he's concerned, his plagues, the entire purpose is to spread the plague. Them having to travel all the way up there probably spread a swath of plague, and he can find new people to put plague into.
Uh-oh.
Added an R.
So he basically he rejects her offer.
Yeah, he rejects her offer.
Nice.
I don't know if it's so much that he rejects it as he just doesn't.
Well, if he's not willing to go up there, then he's rejecting her offer.
He doesn't respond.
Yeah.
It doesn't suit his purpose. His goal is to plague and kill everything.
His
She's
doesn't
just
respond
another person on the list.
to her offer. All right. Anything else that I'm looking back at our notes?
The Ractonian war
yeah,
effort against the
Ractonian
Meerkat.
That we're talking
Yeah.
about up in the north.
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering about, the Ractonian war effort.
I feel like they start to lose because the Meerkats have for so long controlled necromancy that they every time they get in a skirmish or battle, they just raise whatever troops the Ractonians lose against them. So I think the Ractonians would request assistance from Valhalla.
Well, do you also think
council.
with Shaw, the bloodline of Shaw, that maybe something like that happens?
Well, they're part of the council too, right? The Ractonians are. I feel like
Yeah.
they would ask for help. Like I think that's what they would do.
Well, so are the Meerkat folk. The Meerkat folk are also part of the, alliance.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say the council would have to figure out how the fuck that would even work for membership and what that would mean. But also, they have a relief army, so I was thinking the relief army would be sent down as well. So I figured
Oh, the relief army.
lose this battle
hold
because
the
they
line.
can't fight against necromancy that can keep raising things. But you could
Yeah.
you could push the front far enough that if you had enough soldiers behind the front, that you could build structures, defenses, like a line in the sand on the parallel, and say we're not going to let this get taken again.
Well, they do all that, but what I'm saying is the resolution is that they lose. It's a losing effort. Like they bit off more than they.
It's just it's just
because
it's a wave and wave and wave of undead.
and every time they kill them all, they just raise them back again. So it doesn't like they can't stop it.
So what we can say, right, is that the effort could have been good had they like moved up here really close to their land, but they wanted to push the edge of the desert. And so not only does their own army hold long enough to build anything, but the stuff that is built is immediately destroyed. So you could have like ruins that last.
So basically,
Definitely.
they're going to lose the overall battle, but they figure if they're going to try again, they're going to get a hold of the life giants and all
What
that.
I'm saying is, I'm saying they realize the only way that they're not going to lose completely is if Valhalla forces come because they're all clerics and shit.
Yeah,
right?
and they just got
That's
their
the-
armies overrun.
Yep, and that's the only that's what the end of the resolution is. Like they're fucked. Like the undead's pushing up here. And they started it, so it's on them, man. You know.
It really is. Let's see here. Ractonians army, Poxwind. Yep. See. Does anything happen with the communications array from Sunga?
I don't know if they've actually. Do they've actually used it yet?
Yeah, I think they send the message and Ren responds to it.
All right.
Well, they're pretty much requesting like any aid that Ren could send because they were part of a horde that now is practically shattered. They haven't seen their avatar in 100 years, 200 years?
Yeah.
200 to 300 years. So right now, as far as their like core leadership, not only do they think the horde is completely destroyed, but the person that they viewed as their Khan, the Khan of the entire horde, has been missing for 300 years.
Well, upon receiving that message, she would definitely tell Shinto that in order to receive aid from her, he would have to release her, and to do that, he has to find the sword of was her name Alun? Is that her name?
Yeah, Alatun.
He has to find if he finds Alatun, that Alatun's the key to freeing her, and once she's free, she could assist.
Okay.
But the sword is we don't even know where it is, right? It fell from space
She doesn't know where it is.
into planet.
It actually landed. Didn't it land where the magma dragon's head was?
Yes, it landed
goes-
right
Oh
here.
yeah.
Right.
See, so what Steve did by creating this thing and sending out for help is he inadvertently gave her a escape from her prison because no one expected them to build this thing and send a message out to her. Even though she has
And
no powers.
that was the sword of what?
Alatun, Alatun.
That's actually what I made the ad for the promo. So I'm glad it came up.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
I made 7 dragons that were like in silhouette around a like Chinese sword.
It's pretty dope.
I didn't see that. Where did you post
I
that?
even took 2 of the dragons and photoshopped armor over them from samurai and Mongols.
Okay. I do have a bit of an odd question for y'all. I know that Rend was stripped of pretty much all of her power, right?
Mhm.
No, I thought she had most of her power just inside that little area.
No, she has no powers.
No, she got fucked.
She has just immortality at this moment, right?
Yeah, all of her power is in that sword.
Okay.
Wow.
How do y'all feel about the possibility of her essentially? You know what? I'll actually do it next round. I know what I'm doing. Sorry, I had an idea.
Goes insane without company.
No.
We gotta remember the place she's at though is like a prison now. Like all the things she built to protect herself.
I
are
know
holding her there.
the mechanical
Kobolds.
kobolds are
Oh,
her weapons now.
it's funny too because she's a game player and a game maker. So in
Yeah.
her mind, the first way of Bastion is to game it. And so then it's a game that she can't win though. So she's
But
just
indirectly, this lifeline came out to her that she didn't expect. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Steve randomly doing this thing like opened up this whole possibility for a storyline now, like another narrative storyline with her.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't want to kill her because I thought as long as she's there in the world, she could still be used for.
All right. I do have another question on another point here. We mentioned that the Dark Scar Elves are becoming incredibly xenophobic.
Yes.
And then we had the Sogoth, who are a brand new race, who are about to get really weirdly changed as well, but they became experts at tunneling. Is there contact between the Sogoth and the Dark Scars?
Within 200 years?
I don't think so. Well,
Not
for one
yet.
reason. There's in my mind anyway, I don't know if this is a different interpretation. There's like surface, then there's planet, then there's metal prison. And they're like because of the scar and how much depth that took out, they're through the earth layer into this metal inner core layer. Whereas the Sogoth would still be working through the miles and then they would hit a metal if they hit a metal layer, and then they'd have to find a way into that metal layer.
Well, they got to get under the water too. Like they got to go through the land that's under the water to get to
I
more
was
land.
thinking of an idea for how they could get to the under the water Earth section, right? So they send pieces of themselves, like they create muscle structures almost that turn into tubes, and then the outside ones of them, since they can replicate themselves in in ways where they become smaller. They actually like harden themselves into like a calcification that creates an actual running tube that's solid underneath the water from their land into the crust.
That is something that might happen. I think that's a good idea for next age. Like that's a problem they got to figure out.
Question because y'all moved the entire far plane thing that the Sogoth exist in onto the bits and pieces of the shattered land, shattered island.
Yeah.
So really, they have a direct connection to pretty much the landmass that goes all the way down, anyways.
Yeah. If they can get through that water. Yeah.
But they don't
So.
have to get through the water. They're on landmass.
Oh, you're talking about just moving the whole landmass, just moving around?
No, he's saying I
You
think that
you guys said that far plane thing overgrows what's left of the Shattered Isles, right?
Yeah.
Well, the fragments of the Shattered Isles are connected to the crust and everything else, so there's no water barrier.
See, I never looked. I never.
going down from the island, you can go straight over. And
I
then
never
down.
looked at like John did, like it's a layer beneath a layer. I looked at it as when they fired the death ray that made this giant hole, it created like a rip in the space time. So they have access to what the planet really is. It's like the whole planet, this whole thing is a prison. Like all this shit is a prison level that we're at. This whole part right here is a prison level itself.
You're saying it's not like a metal cast that they get to.
No,
like a veil or a shield.
or a shield or a veil. But when you get there, we can totally have like the hallways they're going through be metal. I was totally down with that, but it's not a thing that you can get to by burrowing or
Okay, so
find
it's
that
actually
tunnel.
plane jump. So there's actually like a plane portal into the center area,
Right,
something
like-
in the Star Rift.
Like this Scar Rift was so powerful. That's like why we found the Eternals down here too. Because the Eternals are like to me, were always like a thing, like a not like an avatar or a race, but like spirits almost that are part of this whole quasi-dimensional thing that we built,
Gremlins.
and they're down there making shit
Yeah,
basically.
it's part of the machine, right?
But we would have never found any of this in my mind if they never fired that death ray and blew up this giant crater.
Makes sense.
So I mean, I don't know if they would find. I don't know what they would find. We have to figure out what is actually
Okay, so
what is
essentially,
actually down here if they burrow.
no matter how deep they dig, it's not something where I wasn't understanding that before. I didn't realize that the Scar Elves weren't. They're not just in the Underdark. It's like they've plane transitioned.
Yeah, and we did this thing where like only certain races can actually enter into the other planes. Right? We said like the
I did
Lachey
catch
can.
that. The Scar Elves, the Lachey, and I think one other race you mentioned.
The
had ability
Dampiers.
to-
Dampiers, yeah, it was like we chose 3 for now that could actually cross over, and like if they're there too long, and the Quaddles could too, because the Quaddle or at least Malthus
I mean,
could
if they
because he
have
got stuck there.
Star Elves, they stayed too long in the inner.
Well, no,
workings.
they
Right.
found like not an escape tunnel, but they found like they found a path in between the realms basically. So whatever they found down here that the Codex is for is like it's like a place that goes in between all the realms, a repository, I guess, or like a junction, maybe is that a better way to put it?
Terminal.
Terminal.
Right?
That's
terminal.
so that's where they are, and that's where they've been going around. Now, if we want to make maybe the Sogoth dig down deep enough where they find the terminal too.
Possibly.
Do you see what I'm saying? So it is.
There's
We can make a
ways
layer.
for us to touch on it for sure.
Yeah, we can make it that be the layer that's beneath the water and the earth and the center and the core. Maybe it is this terminal that's in between all these different planes, but it's not the thing that Barak found. Not exactly.
Roger that. Okay. That's that. I think that covers our resolution phase.
I had one more thing. If
you had
guys
one
would
more
like.
thing? Cool. Yeah.
So the Kaya Dune turned this eye into a Bifrost.
Mm-hmm.
And they powered it, but they never really tried to use it. So can we have them try to use it this round and figure out what exactly we're going to have it do?
I was actually going to mess with that with the events phase next round.
Okay,
but if you've got an idea, the Kaya Dune are Death Cult, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So, and one of the things that they worshipped is the moon that crashed through the eye.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, since they powered it and they've been able to use the eye to teleport around the world, correct?
They haven't actually used it yet, but that's what they think it can do. Yeah, for sure.
That's what they think it can do. What I was going to do is that they send someone through the portal and it actually goes to where the moon landed. And I was going to say that the plane where the moon landed after the moon crashed into it is a Dark Sun stylized world where I was thinking something like an insectile race and like orcs are the only things that are left. And the problem is when the Kaya Dune sends someone through, it opens a permanent portal. And so those two races would come surging through, intent on wrecking havoc. Okay.
The moon went to the original home world of the locusts from the other world that were going through the universes and consuming everything. That's where the moon landed. And the only other race there that could survive the locusts are these orcs. We have to figure out why they're so badass and they're able to survive. But that's the only thing on the locust planet.
They have to be some kind of, because they're metal locusts, right?
Well, we never specified they were metal.
The original locusts weren't metal.
Oh, okay.
No.
I thought the original were metal.
They were just hive mind.
Yeah, they got infected with adamantine and then became metal.
Man,
later.
metal affects everything in our world, son.
Okay, so what do you think the orcs are then, dude? What if they're like our version of like a Orokai or something, like some kind of special orc?
Like kind of like in between an ogre and an orc, but like
yeah,
if we go.
You remember in second edition when they had the Orogs, which were like Damien was saying, the orc ogre crossbreeds.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a question.
What if we full on make them psychic too?
I was about
Like-
to, actually, that's
like
what I
Dark
was about
Sun.
to say. I was
Like Dark Sun, right?
Oh, I didn't even know that's how they work in Dark Sun.
Yeah,
What I was going to say
Yeah.
is because the reason they would survive an insect race, which insect race should outbreed you, it'll outproduce you on a longer time scale. It should win. They have something like when they rage, for instance, they literally shut down. They null psych, and so that's why the insectoids can't win, because being around raging orcs would cause their communication systems to break down. That's the only reason the orcs can survive.
What if it's a reverse rage, John? I like your idea, but what if it's like when they rage, they become clear.
Like stoic.
Like like the Hulk, like in World War Hulk, the reason why Hulk becomes so powerful is because he learns to control his rage, so it becomes completely he becomes completely calm when he rages, but he still gets all the benefits of it. He just doesn't lose control.
So how do y'all feel about, because that world at some point probably also had magic before it got, apocalypsed?
Yeah.
How do you feel about the Orogs? We're gonna have to come up with a new name for them, I think, maybe. But how do you feel about the Orogs? Like when they get into a battle trance like that, they become not just psychic nulls, but they become psychic and arcana nulls. Like essentially,
Like
the area
anything
around-
magical or psionic shuts down around them.
Yeah. What if they absorb it instead of shutting it down? And that's why that's what the rage is. So the strength and everything, it's them absorbing
from the
magic and psionic
they
energy,
absorb,
and they become bigger and stronger and tougher.
and they null it. And then you any magic or psychic user in the area roll a DC check blank to resist.
Wait,
They
if you were making them a race, I would step it up. I'd say as they get higher levels, they start getting stuff like anti-magic shell and shit like that. Like once they're more and more powerful. But at first it could be something simple like magic resistance. And every time they resist a spell,
kind of like what the Forsaker did in the 3.0.
Yeah, like every time they absorb a spell or they save against a spell, they get temporary hit points or something. Like that's how you could do it. Like,
Yeah,
so
everything
they get bigger and
goes
stronger.
into the rage or into like the archetype barbarian like stat block for the absorption. Like it goes into strength. Or
Yeah, so it's a natural thing that they have. Like their race just has it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, like, obviously there's a whole back history on a whole other world there. But if there's the orcs and insects left, and they're
I think we should make them like
we
we should
should
make
the
them.
orcs, the insects, and magic, and maybe the orcs were made by the magic users to be null psychs
To protect them.
them, and then became magic psychs as well from fuckery, and
From
then
years of oppression, dude, they
Shield.
revolted. Like
Yeah.
just one of them was born with like magic resistance too, and like he like revolted and killed it. They killed everything. So how about we make them like half ogre size? Like they're large, they're big, giant,
Yeah,
like not giants, but large.
Yeah.
Not huge.
How do you feel about calling them Nullrogs?
I like that. No,
I like it.
Oh, rocks. Gotcha. I mean, who doesn't want to fucking play a null rog down? I'm just saying. Like, because that sounds badass.
That's why I'm saying we have to give them a way to resist, right? Because if
Okay.
not, it's like, oh,
So
are you
I
not
think-
a size user?
I think also too, when they open up this permanent portal, it's because they full on draw the moon back through the eye. So it blows another hole through this eye and it goes back up into the celestial heavens from whence it came the first time. So it full on is back up in the sky now.
The moon slingshots back out of the portal. I like
Yeah,
it.
back out of the portal, back to its original location.
So what if on the other side, like it doesn't crash into their planet, it passes close that causes chaos, and then like rubber bands back through by it again. So it
Yeah,
comes out,
it has like an orbit.
yeah. Oh my god, that'd be dope as hell. It orbits back and forth between like a yo-yo, but it just takes like ages.
That could be so dope. Yeah, so
Oh, God.
dude, so like every 20 years, it comes closer and closer down into the atmosphere and gets
Yeah.
closer and closer to the eye.
Fucking with
That's
shit.
fucking dope. That's so awesome.
It's the time of the great meeting.
So that's how they measure their ages from now on. It's like their moon cycles, like every 20 years, it moves like two
north. Why?
miles or some shit.
Great meeting is coming.
Jeez. All right. I think we need to take a break for round 8. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to suggest that we take a break to our viewers. If you would, make sure you hydrate, get up, don't get cramped up sitting all day. We're going to do the same thing, hydrate, bathroom, those sort of things. And we'll see you in 10 minutes, 5 minutes? What's
10
our
minutes.
break now? 10 minutes. So we're about to jump into the final round of the second age. This is going to put us at about the 2,400 year mark for the stretch that we're working on. And when we finish this, we're going to roll out our cataclysm and figure out how the world gets shaken up even more. But before we start shaking the world up, I need everybody to roll those wonderful D4s so we know the initiative for the round.
That's some bullshit. Shit.
Hey, you're first, dude.
I know it.
Yep.
You guys got to roll it off again, dude.
Okay.
Who else rolled before?
I'm pretty sure I'm going last this time. So
Time to roll each other off, dude.
I like it when I get rolled off. So
Rolled off all the time.
Corinth, Pookie.
Corin,
Nope.
Pookie, John, Steve.
To roll it off again.
Oh, Jeebus. Okay. Well, it's the exact
You got to roll it off again.
Does he get a 2? Does he get a 2?
Jesus,
Seems
really?
like I don't want to hit.
All right,
No. So it's
The exact
Corinth,
same.
Pookie.
I mean,
Okay.
but really, it doesn't affect anything in the game except for which avatar dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I think.
Yeah, pretty much.
That is true. I had to. I forgot to mark off Wallace here since John is our avatar killer.
I think
Yeah.
that's
And Renard died to give something control. So we actually lost 2 avatars.
2
last round.
avatars. Yep.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
bad, not bad. Okay, so we are jumping into this wonderful situation with a little bit of creation. Corinth, give us some
All
creation.
right. Well, the Orogs. Did we say
Nolrogs.
they basically went through? Oh, Nolrogs. Sorry, Nolrogs. Sorry. So did the Nolrogs actually make it through or not?
Yes, they came through.
Yeah, it's
All right,
permanently.
so-
It's permanently right
where they is be.
on the eye.
All right. I'm going to establish. Since I'm going to go ahead and create an avatar, but I want to establish like where their city's at really fast, like just their main civilization.
Put them in the salt flats.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking, like in the salt flats.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. When you said they were on the eye, I was like, wait, they start the civilization on the eye? Like, what happens when the moon comes through?
That'd be very
Well, there's
bad.
the-
That's exactly what.
There's a big hole
And
the
they
moon
just
goes
live
through.
on the moon too.
The whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that salt area right there. Wait, we said that there was a lush, verdant area. Is that that's in the North Pocket, right?
That's the North Pocket, yes.
Yeah.
Pocket, yeah.
They're probably pretty used to the desert and how to live there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's where they would go.
I normally use a different color, but that's not going to work really well with the background right there. So, oh, that's a terrible color too. Jeez.
Do we
So
say
we'll just
that
do black.
the portal is closer to the Nullrogs and that's why they're through first, or do they both come through?
They're both coming through at the same time. It's just
They come through
No.
fighting.
Oh, are we bringing the locust folk through as well?
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Okay. That means I just need to add the
So
locust folk.
Lucas folk we can put over here maybe. Oops,
We'll
shit.
worry about where they're at once we get around to actually addressing them, maybe, or in the resolution phase.
Yeah. Steve, if you can like
If we have the Nullrogs,
delete that.
things.
Yeah. Geez, I'm trying to find a good color for this thing so you can actually see the damn thing. It's ridiculous.
You don't need to worry about it that much. I'm going to actually get a bunch of these cities and stuff onto the map throughout the course of the week.
Okay.
So I
Well,
was
that
just close by, like the insectoids could go to this other little ravine in the mountain right here. Just on the
Alright, well-
opposite side of the Nullrogs.
All right. So the Nolrogs have an avatar, and
We need
Because-
a good brutish race.
Yeah.
Language.
oh well, I mean,
His name.
I'm going to
should-
kind of use like the orc language in general. Like that's
His-
just kind of.
His name should be Lord Humongous, dude. Lord Humongous of the Wasteland.
It's if America, fuck yeah, met orc language.
They're not going to be bros. We're not having any more bro races.
No
We're so
bro
done with the
race.
bro races.
No more bro races.
And he's looking for gasoline.
And we also know that the Locust folk already use what was it? Not Russian, Serbian, I think.
Serbian, dude.
Which
Yeah.
Russian, essentially Russian. I'm probably way off base, but that's
You're
what I'm
probably
going to say.
offending the shit out of somebody.
In
Yeah,
fact,
probably.
actually, I'm almost positive Shaq just recently did that to a basketball player where he said something to him in Russian, and it turned the whole thing.
And he was like, "I'm Serbian, you asshole."
Well, it was like the third time in a year Shaq did it.
Out of coffee.
Yeah, very Serbian.
You serving? You playing tennis? What do you mean you serving?
All right. Well, while Corinth works on a name for the Nullrog avatar,
Lord Humongous, dude. It's been settled.
I'm not calling you Lord Humongous.
we'll jump over.
Come on,
to-
dude. Don't be a pussy. Call him Lord Humongous, bro.
Why don't we just call him Lord Mungus?
Lord Mungus, even better.
Mungus. Lord Mungus. You know
Lord
what? I could do Mungus. Lord Mungus.
That's all I'm saying. You take the fun stuff and then you make a play on words out of it.
Hey, I like Mungus.
Or you just rip it right off.
That's
What are we
right.
talking about here, dude?
So, all right. Pookie's turn.
What is Lord Mungus's like goal?
Oh, he's a warlord.
Oh,
The Ayatollah of rock and rolla.
Ayatollah of rock and roll. Hey, no,
Lord
no,
of the wasteland.
I've been on YouTube watching a lot of like behind the scenes weather stories. I find them very fascinating.
okay. Pookie.
All right, the Sogoth are going to create an avatar. That's his name.
Oh,
So what happens is a bunch of these worms, they're already sentient, they form together and they create this thing called Narlot, which is like the worm that walks from 3.5.
yeah.
He's like a combination of a bunch of these worms put together, and he can shapeshift and shit. That's his power. He can look like other races and
So he's
spread
like
himself about.
So he's like an infiltrator, or
Yeah, I mean, he's like the worm that walks. So you can never kill him unless you eliminate like all of the.
yeah, you got to destroy everything.
And so,
All
like,
right.
is the shape shifting a power of the whole race? And then
No,
he he's
just
really
him.
powerful at it?
Yeah, just him.
Out of
So-
curiosity,
When enough of them get together, they unlock the ability to shift.
Shapeshift. Yep.
that's interesting. The Ractonians. Do we actually have a like language base for them?
I don't.
Let's do
Goobly goobly humongous. Yeah, you're right. I like that dragon.
Human.
Goobly humongous.
They speak human.
How about like we already did Norse, right? What about like Swedish? Or like,
What about
Yeah.
they speak?
yeah.
They speak oldie English.
No, wait, how about let's do German, dude? We haven't done German yet. Let's do straight up German.
There you go, Steve. Go over the name.
Okay.
They do have a bloodline, the Stormkeeper, is that what you call it? Master of the Storm.
Oh yeah, the special bloodline.
Yeah, but they're like magi though. They're not kings. They're like advisors.
Yeah. They don't take power, they just get respect.
Yeah. Like Merlin.
After the Ractonians lost this war. I mean, really lost the fuck out of this war. One of their more prominent members from that bloodline. Do we have a name for the bloodline?
His name was Shaw, but it's just a family name.
Shaw.
So,
Shaw, yeah, I guess.
All right.
So maybe like a last name Shaw.
All right. So
You're gonna create an avatar.
Ingrid Shaw.
Ingrid Shaw.
Ingrid.
that's a powerful name.
After seeing and experiencing the atrocities of the war against the undead, and not actually gaining any assistance from any of the other the council membership, actually through contact with the Whispers, not being aware of what the Whispers are, like they influence her not because she knows, but just because they do it. She goes to Valhalla and learns to be a paladin. And then she returns as a paladin avatar to the Ractonians with the sole intent of literally burning out all of the meerkat people with holy righteous fire.
Can I add on to that real quick?
Yes.
Okay, so when she goes up there to train, a part of their initiation is like monks, they have to shave their heads. And when they shave her head, they realize that she has the mark of the tear. The mark of the dragon tear is on her, like the back of her skull. So when she becomes this paladin, this avatar, it activates. So now she's the master of the tear, like he was the master of the storms. Remember how we said like every couple generations, one will like be born and one will like come to prominence? That this is her time. Yeah, this is her time. So now she controls the tear, like he controlled the storm before.
So she's like she could tap into enormous amounts of healing.
Enormous amounts of healing
and
power.
positive energy.
Positive energy, yep. But she didn't know this until she went up there. It happened when she was there.
So her focus is to bring that immense holy power and literally burn out meerkats from existence.
Quick question: is every last meerkat on the plane undead?
No, they're not undead at all. They're they're necromancers.
Okay, all of them. That's what I mean.
Are they all necromancers? No.
Remember we said that their society treats the undead with reverence, like they're part of the society. Remember, like Shaun of the Dead, we said.
Okay, cool.
So like they respect them and shit.
Yeah. So to them, even a normal person who doesn't practice necromancy feels that negative energy isn't an evil thing.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't think they all practice it, but they definitely have it. It's part of their culture or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's ingrained in.
What I mean is going to be hard pressed for the Ractonians to find any converts.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, true. No. Yeah, no, it's literally light and dark on this one.
Okay. And that goes for creation to John.
I forgot that I was playing.
Create an avatar, dude.
I was just listening to all y'all going on.
I think John should have to create an avatar every time because he kills one every time. So he should, every round of creation, John has to create an avatar to replace the one that he murdered.
The destroyer of all of our friends.
He must.
Dude, when he killed the weave, it made me sad. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, he's murked so many of them.
I have a question.
I mean, the weave's been around for a minute.
In the old world, who was the people that sent folk through vortex?
Oh, that was the proto lizard. I mean, the proto lizard folk and the prawn folk.
Okay, and so how the insectoids weren't there at the beginning? They got there through something, right?
No, the insectoids began first round. The first round they were there. They were our first.
They were an extraplanar invasion.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking. Oh, so that goes to the original plane, but it needed to be activated. Who did the insect folk combine with during the vortex?
The Adamantian Minotaurs.
No, during the amalgamation thing, it was the dragons. The dragons.
Oh, dragons. Yeah, sorry, dragons.
They're still around. They're still around too. We haven't done anything with them for like thousands of years.
Yeah, they just watch. Oh, they're also the steeds for the hawk people.
Those are the cosmic dragons.
Yeah, those are cosmic.
That's one of the cosmic dragons. You're right.
So insectile dragons, where are they based?
Everywhere.
Like D&D dragons are everywhere.
All over. Okay, I'm gonna create an avatar for those people, and this should have probably been done a while back, but I had this idea for the avatar's purpose is this: the locust amalgamation that occurred in the dragon that morphed this creature carried with it the original mission of some sort from the planar world of the insectoid locusts.
Okay.
Now, part of the mission he understood you'd have, I don't know what that mission is to go to the locust people that are here now and retrieve sets of information they have to work with his information for whatever goal it is that he needs to get.
Vague.
Very vague.
Yeah,
what's his name?
With the prison planet, like with the idea of the person planet.
Okay. So what name do you want to give him?
Is he following the insect folks' naming pattern? Then it's Serbian.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, probably. Let's say that the insect mind and the dragon mind are locked in the combat of consciousness. I don't know what the fuck they identify themselves as. Legion? What do you want? It's one ego and an ego
Yeah.
linked to a Malkov network. Oh, and who has the Malkov network? Is
The
that
Dampier.
that's right?
The
Oh, the
Dampier.
So, do they feel psychic network connection when the locusts come through? I just thought about that. That's strong.
I mean,
Presence.
there's a giant void where all the null rogs are.
Oh,
There's no
Yeah.
psychic activity there at all.
okay. So
What
yeah,
if you call him Zaz?
Zaz.
ZSAS. Zaz.
Or okay.
Zictor Zaz.
That sound yeah from yeah from the Dark Knight. Yeah, it sounds Serbian to me. It sounds Serbian as shit, dude.
And it also sounds dragony.
Yeah, Dragony, Serbian.
S's.
Okay.
So is he gonna go through the portal back to the end?
No, he's going to go find the lizard folk who are coming out.
Coming out. And
You mean the locusts that are coming out?
yeah,
So he goes here then?
yeah. Well, I'm assuming that's where the locust went. I don't know. I never got a.
Yeah. Spin him
Yeah,
here.
we actually didn't lock it down, but
Yeah.
that's where you want to put him. I'm good with it.
Yeah.
And he wants to control them. Is what he wants to do.
He needs to retrieve some piece of information that they're bringing back that they were still unable to retrieve, and they might not have it, but that's his mission. He needs to go to these people. They should have a piece of information that works with what he retrieved from the other world and through his time here to break into some part of the system of this prison.
Okay.
We will figure this shit out later. Is what he said.
With that, we go over to the command phase, and we are going to start the command phase with the High Lord of Destruction, Corinth.
The High Lord of Destruction. Why am I the High Lord of Destruction?
I don't know. I'm just calling everyone Lords of Destruction.
Yeah.
I mean, Avatar.
Let's. Yeah. So we're in conquest phase. And
No, we're in command.
And so you can command.
Sorry,
this.
command phase. Command phase. Sorry, command phase. I was looking at command. All right. So, now that they actually have a much nicer area to live in, the Lord Mungus is going to have the city. I want to command their city to start building up walls. They're going to actually fortify their defenses.
Lord
And
Mongus
that's what I'm doing.
wants people to be safe.
Okay. And
And this is
then
ancient dead civ right here, right?
Say what?
that was one of the not Hawkman, the McCall folk cities.
Okay, so both
Yeah.
of those cities that are dead.
Are done.
Okay, so they're just ruined.
Yeah, they're both done.
Yep. Pookie, Master Blaster, your turn.
Ingrid the I gotta give her a cool name. You
Ingrid
said she wants.
Shaw.
You said she wants to burn them away, right? Like burn them.
Yeah.
All right, she's going to create an army of shock troopers. That their sole responsibility is to infuse themselves with so much positive energy that they turn into like little suns, and they kind of run into the undead and blow themselves up. So she's gonna make like her own version of like little jihadists.
How about Martyrs of the Light?
Yeah, I like this. Martyrs of the Light. It's a good one. And that's their entire training leads up to them killing themselves, basically.
Jeez.
Yeah. So at some point in time, she was alive to hear.
How
the
about like
story of the goblin.
Ingrid? Yeah, Ingrid the Purifier. No,
Ingrid the Purifier. I like it.
Yeah. And
'Cause
by the
that sounds right.
time she dies, it'll be Ingrid the damn it, I messed it up.
yeah, you fucked it up,
I
dude.
think like the ground scorcher.
The crown scorcher.
Purifier, I like it. All right, Steve, command phase.
All right. Archibald is going to move on to the old Chaos Isle, the Isle of Chaos. And with his Slacha, or what are we calling the
Isle of
I wrote
Chaos?
Vazide.
Everything.
Vazad?
Can you ping the Isle of
Yeah,
Chaos?
Vazide.
Everything here is chaos.
It's where the Slod were, brother.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The source of chaos. Okay.
And because they find the ancient city of Trax completely devoid of anything living other than monstrous macaw folk,
Mm-hmm.
they will reclaim Trax and rename it the Pox Halls, or Halls of Pox.
You sure like them halls of stuff.
I do.
Halls of Illusion.
No, like in the other world we have his fire Ganassi have the halls of slate, the halls of stone, the halls of granite, and all the
They
stuff.
like
The ruby halls. He
two
loves the
things.
halls.
One, walk. Two, every single TV show in the world looks like an Aaron Sorkin production.
And John, your command phase.
Oh wait, what can you do during command phase again? That's all this stuff. Command
Didn't you
rate
put that damn thing up there?
order. Yeah, I put it up and I take it down to show the map where you guys are talking when you're talking about what
Okay.
you do during your turn. Okay, so build wonders, form army. Okay, so quick question. These moon islands that are well, actually, fuck, there's two, right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. The moon just shot back up. Did the island that correspond to that moon suddenly charge back up?
right there.
Oh shit.
So that's what I was about to say. Is what kind of energy does it charge up with, and is it positive? Because if it's positive, what I was going to say is
We've never really discussed what kind of power it is, so that ball is in your hands.
I think it changes when it comes back from the other world.
Yeah.
No matter what kind of power it was before, it's going to be some kind of different power now.
Mhm.
okay.
Why? What are you thinking, John?
Well, I was just thinking, like, right next to the Ragtonians is that there's also this star metal, but I'm pretty sure that any
No,
Rag-
that's gone. Remember?
yeah,
That
yeah.
island is gone.
No, but I was thinking if she comes back and she's looking for sources of power to help aid her destruction, there's this island right there that gives off energy. There would be some reason for her to research it. Well, rather than just have her go straight to build a wonder to harness energy, I'm gonna have her create an order. It's like a study, so it's like the studious section of how, again, the Charlie Day, but for fucking divine paladin death magic, and it's gonna start on that island, so they can research that power and try to find a way to harness it against the meerkat folk.
All right, so they're gonna. So Ingrid's gonna have an order. Actually, she creates another order basically, or how are you doing it?
Is that too much? Yeah, it's too much for one race in a period of time.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
No, it's more that you're not supposed to create orders during this round. But once again, I don't care if that's what you want to do. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, if you want to do it, rock it out. It's just
Yeah.
okay. Well, I can go straight to she operates to have a wonder built that
that you can do. Yeah.
Divine
Yeah.
energy. I just figured
Yeah.
there should be some steps before she gets straight to.
Well, and that could be like inferred, like clearly, like that's why.
So like there's the orders and all this. They just don't have.
issue is we just create the thing in resolution anyways.
It doesn't matter to me. If you want to create order this round, I don't care.
No, wonder.
Yeah.
The idea was she would start trying to tap the harness of that energy to aid her in her destruction. Of
All right.
So she's creating an order, or she's creating the.
She has a wonder to harness the moon island energy.
Yeah, she creates a wonder.
Okay, cool. So that means we're going on to the conquest phase, and
So-
we're back on Corinth.
So the Aractonians, who are in full on Jihad mode are also going to they're going to reclaim Paradise Island for theirs. They're going to claim that land as theirs. It's a source of lots of good stuff there, some interesting things. They're going to spread out.
It's where their ancestors are from too.
That is where their ancestors are from. They're going to reclaim their ancestral homeland.
Okay.
Paradise Isle.
Interesting. That brings us over to Pookie.
The Kayadun are going to they're going to enter into war alongside the Ractonians, and they're going to actually turn on their former allies, the Meerkats, because they see the opportunity to destroy undeath, and they think it's a worthy cause. Because while they respect death and worship death, they hate undeath because it's an affront. It's an affront to death itself. So they're going to turn their armies, and they're going to start attacking them from this flank over here, this side.
Okay. That brings it to me.
Mm-hmm.
And Archibald from the Halls of Pox is going to form an army of plagued mutant Macawfolk.
Plagued monstrous Macawfolk too. Ugh.
So are they like their own army, or they're like blue goblin or mongoloid people like in command, almost like
Yes, the Vizad are going to be leading and controlling these monstrous Macawfolk, and given their chaotic and abyssal nature, Archibald has found that they can carry very extremely potent plagues without succumbing to them themselves. So they're perfect plague carriers because they can carry, the gonorrhea syphilades of plagues, not actually suffer the effects themselves, but when you cut them open, it's just like every time you stab one of them, you welcome your own person to wretched disease.
On that fun note, it's John's turn. Because ew.
Okay, I'm gonna have. Well, we have the civilization through for the insectoid locusts, but we didn't form an army. So we're gonna so they have an army. Because it only makes sense that they would be.
Who's forming an army?
Locust folk.
Locust folk. It only seems sensible they'd have an army through the gate if they went through anywhere.
Okay. And that brings us out of the conquest phase. Conquest is done. We're really knocking this one out, guys.
Yeah. That's because the resolution phase takes 400 hours.
Oh yeah, the Macawfolk have been through an immense amount of bad stuff, Misa Dragon. But that brings us to the events phase, and with events being the wonderful thing that they are, High Lord of Destruction, Grand Lord of Destruction, Corinth.
It's all right. So, since we brought back the Salmon folk, and they witnessed what happened with the Acid Dragon, they determined that there is no other choice they have. They are going to work on a ritual to summon Magnetrix back into the realm because they need Magnetrix to deal with that nasty tainted Acid Dragon. And because they remember that one of their own is part of Magnetrix. So that's what they're going to do.
Interesting.
And we'll see how that goes in resolution phase.
Oh, jeez. Pookie?
The Acid Dragon commanded by the woman in the castle, is going to swallow Alatun.
Oh, where the sword was at?
Yeah, he's going to go down to where the sword is at, and he's just going to swallow that bitch whole. And then he's going to make his way afterwards. She's going to make him go to the Trogs.
Okay. That's scary.
Yeah.
That's very, very scary. And I guess that's my turn. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Rend ran the game, and a lot of the focus on the game was manipulating and messing with people, playing on their lesser virtues, more or less, right?
Mm-hmm.
And although Rend is trapped within her temple, the halls of the Geizig, she is an infamously powerful player. So, through machinations and corrupting a few of her wardens, she will gain access to 7 of the astral dragon eggs and put whatever little essence she has left of power into each one of those eggs. Each one of those carrying like a overburdening essence of one of the 7 sins, and then using the 1 or 2 corrupted mechano kobolds and cast the 7 sins into the world.
That's going to very, very
She's
poorly.
already like power tapped. Is this like sup the last out of it?
Yeah, like she is mortal after this.
Unless she gets that sword back, she has a limited lifetime.
Yeah.
She's
Does
she's
that
playing.
go in retroactively, seeing that she's 7? Like,
No, it won't catch up to her immediately.
Okay.
From this point on, yeah, no, she doesn't just immediately die.
Yeah. John.
I have an idea. So here's what it is. Moon comes back through.
Yeah.
And then what it does though is this dark sun world, and we said the magic was destroyed because of the breeding of the null magic orcs. But I want to determine that the null magic orcs are almost non-purpose in their own world, because magic doesn't work in the world anyway because of the event that sparked the same thing as the null or the downfall of the original magic race. So this force on the other side of the moon portal is drawn through in some fashion. And so when the moon comes high on this side of the world, other than the points for the moon or anything else built in the planet purposefully by its designers to have power, the power of magic fades while the moon's on the side. And then as the moon travels into the other world, magic is possible again.
So would you say that like magic becomes completely null on the plane as the moon is at the highest point of its rotation?
Even at like drawing in the most amount of the other, it would be like a 30% decrease or something. It wouldn't be like magic turns out here. And it wouldn't be a magic is all over and very powerful in the other world either. It would be like it's present and now possible to interact with for a handful of select folks.
We have to do something about that moon.
But the thing like the islands, anything the Eternal probably operate with, and everything else that was built as a purpose in the planet, it's designed for whatever its prison thing is. That power still maintains.
Okay.
Oh, that's really interesting. So, depending on the moon's position, the degree of magic available waxes and wanes. That's
And depending on how long it actually takes for that moon to cycle through the worlds. Yeah.
that's actually really interesting.
What about instead of it being like over years, what if it's like a normal moon cycle, like you're saying, wax and wanes? So when it's a full moon, there's altogether no magic, period.
But it's only for like a night or a few
For what,
hours.
two or whatever an actual full moon cycle
3
is.
days. Yeah.
3 days. It's no magic. And then
Well,
as it goes
right
back
now-
to the cycle.
We are saying that this moon. Sorry for cutting you off. I just wanted to make sure I understood this. The moon isn't stuck in a rotation around the planet. The moon rotates around the planet and then comes back into the eye, going to the other world, does its full rotation there, and then comes back again, right?
Yes. That's my understanding.
Oh, I was picturing it as almost like a yo-yo out.
Yeah. Between the worlds.
Yeah, like a yo-yo's away from the planet and then back in.
Yeah, and while it's away from the planet, it goes around, comes back in, goes through the eye, goes around that world, comes, like a figure eight almost, an infinity
Yeah.
symbol.
Both.
That's kind of what I thought I did. That's how I envisioned it.
That is a wild cosmology.
Yes, this entire planet is a wild cosmology.
hmm
Very wild cosmology. That means we are on avatars.
There's 5, right?
No, we have a ton.
Oh
of
no.
One, two.
No,
We have a ton of avatars. We actually have
Phase
12
five.
avatars now.
Phase,
No,
10.
8. We have 8 avatars.
phase
10.
5. That's what I meant by
I'm
5.
counting 8. Who do you have that I don't have?
I have Cento, Lasermane, Kurgan, Barak the Seeker, Whisper Letty, Archibald, Lord Mungus,
Neorlat?
Niralat, Ingrid Shaw, and Zasaz.
Yeah, 8. Just making sure we're good.
That's 10, bro.
One of you.
That is.
in
Hold on.
very shortly.
Oh, I see where I did wrong. Okay, sorry. We're good.
August,
I'm like,
I know that you're.
it had something to do with what you looked at, but when you said, "I know I did something wrong," I was like, "On the way to counting to 10."
I mislabeled, so I put my count off. I was
Yeah.
counting by our people.
You were looking at columns
Get
or
the
something.
fuck off me.
Over.
Yeah, I was looking at columns.
Yeah,
All right,
that's what-
so 10. So, anyways, bitch, I'm gonna roll a d12.
Roll your d12. And you got. Do you guys want to go from the bottom of the list this time around or the top?
Let's just go down the order. I got Cento.
Okay, you got Cento.
Nation.
With a 3. What's a 3? That's Nation. That's what? Alliance, break an alliance, start a
Well, he's
war,
a,
peace, trade deal, assassinate.
yeah. I think he's gonna full on start a war with the Scar Elves. So
Okay. Starting strong. Okay, that brings us to Pookie, who has Lasermane.
you rolled a what, a 7? Yeah, 7.
Lead an army, form an army, give an army specialized training.
What do you
Pookie.
what do you want to pick? Pookie?
He's gonna create an army that consists primarily of bards. So they all train inside of
Who?
the Wailing Well.
What do you
They
mean?
learn like all these chants and like stories and poems and shit. Kind of like
Oh yeah, because it's the
like-
larynx.
yeah, like scalds kind of. And that's how they use their magic. They have to like sing or tell a poem or something like that. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
he creates an army of them basically.
This is the Lasermane, right?
Lizardmane. Yep.
Okay.
All right.
All right. And now we're on Kurgan.
Mm-hmm. And you?
And
Oh, and that's me. That's me. That's
And then
me.
John rolled an 8. So for his
3. What's a 3?
start a war. Break alliance.
Kurgan could start a war.
Assassinate
Form alliance,
somebody.
break alliance.
nation. Create a nation.
Assassinate too.
I mean, I'm not entirely sure what's going on with the Dampiers. Are they at war with anyone? Are they at opposition with anyone right now?
Well,
I mean, they're technically part of the council, but they also just, last age took out Shadowcar Wallace and turned that entire group of anthomorphs.
they've been messing with the shadow plane too. Like in our shadow plane is
Yeah.
like a madness plane. That's what they were doing like all last age.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. Huh.
would they actually form an alliance with the Meerkat folks since they're all undead?
I don't know. The Meerkat folk like to. Oh no, the Meerkat folk have like a loving relationship with.
Yeah, they're not asshole necromancers,
Yeah.
and they would probably be very much against the Aractonians, who are now like the balls of light.
I would say that Kurgan is going to start a war with the Ractonians.
Right.
Ooh, if
All right.
there's a personal calamity rolled for the Ractonian avatar, I got like.
Well,
All right, John, you have Barak the Seeker.
Yes, I do, and I
rolled
rolled
an
base of
8.
operations. So what he's going to do is, so he already built, like I said, further in like some city that kind of built up like a trading hub that built, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because of the events, the fallout at the border in the last years, now a base of operations is going to be put right on the other side of that portal, and it's going to be a fortress. It's going to be designed militarily as a structure to prevent people from pushing in to this unless the people of the Seeker wish to let them in.
Okay. All right. Now I got Whisper Letty. Let's see what the hell that asshole does. Got an 8. He will also build a base of operations. He's going to build a base of operations inside of the laser mains area where the council's at. So that way he can actually have an area to like start plotting and doing stuff.
Like what's the one from Justice League? The bad guys one, the swamp.
Yeah, he basically he's going to do it out in the open, but he's going to say it's basically an area for all the higher level Senate people to be at.
What's that called? The place you have diplomats.
We made it like an amphitheater. It's on top of where the sound used to come out of.
No, I'm saying like
an embassy.
Embassy.
An embassy. He builds an embassy inside of Laser Main City.
So is that for the council or is it
yes.
for? Okay, then.
Well,
then,
it's for the highest level council.
Yeah. So it's like a console area, like CON.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
It's SLAD VIP.
It is SLAD VIP.
VIP. Yeah.
All right. Pookie, you got Archibald.
Bring people in, right? When they're 1 and you have 4 on your side, so you literally get to push them.
Okay. So that yeah. You have Archibald who founds, destroys, or steals a tech.
Oh, in the slot area, that sounds terrible.
This works out for exactly what I want to do before. Okay, so while searching the ruined city, he finds the antechamber that Ezra's used to throw Drax into the Chaos Stone. So he finds the technology that was used to push people into the abyss, basically to teleport people into the abyss.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Is the stone still there?
No, the stone's gone, but like the room that Ezra's had made is still there.
Did the stone get destroyed or did it get lost?
Stone got swallowed by Magnatrix.
Oh, so when Magnatrix comes back though.
Oh yeah.
So
he finds
what from Ezra? I'm sorry.
He basically figures out how to teleport people into the abyss, like the literal
the antechamber.
Abyss.
Okay. So now he's going to be playing with abyssal plagues. That's scary.
Yeah. Mungus.
I've got Lord Mungus. Okay. That's what did I get? 4? 4.
Is wonder.
Creates, finds, steals, or recovers a wonder. Lord Mungus from a horrible world.
Well, there's a wonder right nearby, by the way.
What's
Those
that?
Big, the Optometrix. or
Automatron.
Automatron, and the Automatron 2.
There's also the
Yeah.
giant sundial that he
Oh,
figured
yeah.
out was a clock.
Lord Mungus is going to find or steal the clock and like turn. He doesn't know what it is, but he essentially turns it into his personal fortress.
It's kind of dope.
Nice.
Like in Mad Max Fury Road, how he lives like up on top of that thing with the aquifer and
Yeah.
shit. How he has him like in a bank vault. Yeah, that's pretty dope. Too.
He
He's
finds
built
the giant sundial
builds himself into the sundial. That's pretty sweet.
and claims it as his fortress.
Nice. So John got a 1 for Nirlat, the Sogoth infiltrator.
Yep.
What is he infiltrating again? What did
Found,
he-
destroy, steal, or technology.
Yeah, no, I'm saying
He's
the
just-
Avatar. Oh no, he's just an infiltrator.
He's the warm.
Yeah.
She's the with the
He hasn't
worm that walks.
with anyone yet, right?
Yep.
hmm
Oh man,
But
finds
they are in the
technology.
remnants of Hunter. They are in the remnants of Hunter's Labyrinth, so you could find something there.
Technology. I'm trying to think of the other stuff that came through from the Animorphs. There was like personal shields. What else?
We also had the Predator shit.
Yeah.
So.
Didn't they have a what were the technologies? I thought they had
They used gravity, anti-gravity. No, that wasn't them. That
Why
was no,
don't
it was them.
Why don't
Yeah,
you
these-
have,
ability.
you have them like gain power in something like illusion magic, since they're already doing stuff to change their shape to make mimicry even easier?
And we can say that they find technology that allows them to mimic structures and other things too. So the idea
Sure.
being they can literally hide the fact that they're from the far plane, not just themselves, but their island.
You call it mimic
Okay.
technology. That's perfect. So they become mimics. Like the creature mimic turns into objects.
That's cool. I like it.
Oh, I meant their objects turn into other objects, like far plane looking things would be camoed the way they could camo things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It allows them to mimic items or structures. Like they can make things look like other things.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Or turn
Oh,
them into
Jesus.
things, right? Well, they actually could be if they picked like a plant that was voracious or something and mimicked it to something else.
Oh,
All
didn't
right.
Kill Shaw. So
Avatar. Form an alliance with an avatar, hinder an avatar, capture an avatar, or kill an avatar.
well, she's going to. Let's see.
I think I know what she would do.
Well, I mean, she's going to kill an avatar, but which do you think she's going to be able to do it? Is the question.
The undead.
What are you
avatar?
thinking?
The undead avatar.
Which one? There's two.
The,
Or
Yeah, we have Kurgan and then Ezra's is not even on the board anymore.
Kurgan tried to go assassinating, and it didn't end well for him.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
would say Kurgan.
all right. Well, she's going to kill Kurgan somehow in battle.
Yeah, I didn't know if Kurgan was that kind of way.
Well,
And we
he,
have
you know,
Saz.
he
Poofy.
figured he had overwhelming odds, so he was good. So
Form an order, destroy an order, or block the action of an order.
Who is this?
The
The insect.
domain.
All right, he's going to John said that he was searching for plans to figure out a way to get to the prison system. So he found those plans, and what he's going to do is he's going to prevent Barack from building that fortress into the terminal because he needs to get in there. So.
All right. Well, now we have. Now, do we want to do a resolution or do we want to do a cataclysm and see how that affects our resolutions?
I think we got resolution first, and
Resolution
then cataclysm, and then
first.
the resolution again.
God. I was trying to avoid this. All right. Yeah. No love for you. No love.
All right. So resolutions.
Yeah, what's about to get ugly?
Mhm.
Let's do the Avatar death first because
Yeah, let's do the Avatar death first. Ingrid, the Purifier, and Kurgan.
I don't think Kurgan attacks Ingrid. He said he joined the war, right? I feel like he would attack Valhalla because Valhalla is closer to them, and Valhalla assisted her, assisted the Ractonian.
Mhm.
And I think that's how he actually gets killed by her. Like maybe she goes back there because he takes over the city, or she knows he's there.
Or do you think maybe?
I think. Sorry, go ahead. Throw your idea out.
I would just say like maybe by hindering him, that's how he ends up dying of Valhalla.
And she's responsible. She's supposed to be the one. Well, yeah, it doesn't say she kills him herself. It says you can have Avatar killed.
Yeah.
What I was thinking, I love the idea that he's attacking Valhalla, right? But Ingrid and her people just built a special like artifact thing that channels the power from the moon.
Yeah.
So when she
I
hears,
think I know what you're thinking. Yeah.
when she hears about Kurgan attacking Valhalla, she channels all of that power through herself, and then through the eye channels that lunar energy to weaken Kurgan enough so Valhalla can just take him out.
What if?
See, I had a similar thought. Remember before we said that they were around the areas of Twilight from those moon islands because it gave them power?
Yeah.
What if you figures out a way to suck all that power away from those islands? So now
that's
they're
what
exposed to
saying.
sunlight.
I
What
like that.
What if what it was is it makes the twilight go away? That's
Yeah,
what,
yeah. She absorbs
So,
it, channels it away.
Temporarily, she like subdues the Twilight, weakening the entire Dampier race.
She
Yes.
she engulfs the earth in a purifying light. Is the way she looks at it. So all those spots that have that twilight become light. So it doesn't just fuck up Kurgan. We made a whole subrace of vampires that have to exist in shadow.
The Sombra.
So they're fucked because they're in those areas too.
Well, I think right. So they have to live in an area where they die. So the things that have to live in this deep are probably gonna have a rough time. But I'm thinking like it just means that everybody else can be seen. They can't shadow jump. They can't. It takes away all those other extra special things they have.
Yeah, I was thinking more like it just takes away all their invulnerabilities. So if we say our Dampiers are like vampires, like they're immune to damage and shit like that, he's just not immune anymore.
Yeah.
Hence, he gets fucking killed.
Yeah.
I do think the shadow vampires would be fucked. If I'm saying that they're covered in sunlight and they have to be in shadow, they're fucked. They'd be
when
dead.
they declared war, one of the things I was thinking about doing this round, if I could, was I was
Spit it out.
develop a tech that had them be able to make their Twilight portable or like replicate Twilight, like a magic device, but it wasn't. It was some kind of something that would belay the new power problem with the moon.
Yeah.
That's what I was want to see is them trying to develop a technology where they could like.
I don't think they did it fast enough. I think she used that wonder on that moon isle to rip Twilight out for at least a while.
And are we saying that her shifting all of the Twilight to essentially points of radiance literally burns out the La Sombra?
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
it kills them outright.
Not, but like they still exist. Like remember how we said, John, that like a race isn't completely obliterated. There's no genocides so far, so they're not obliterated. There's
so
still
far.
some of them that live, some of them that had the technology John's talking about, maybe, or that got away. So they're
Or,
still
or escape to the Underdark.
escape to the Underdark. Their version of the Underdark. Their part
So she fully pulls Twilight. So even on the island, the main
everywhere.
island, it's just,
Yeah.
it's not like
Everywhere.
a 70% pool or something. It's like 100.
Like I always
Yeah.
like to do, dude. I think that her doing this should have a consequence on her. And my pitch for that is Kurgan's last stand. The last thing he does is he releases the Malkavian order on her completely. So they focus all that insanity, that psychic insanity, into her when she does this. So before they go out,
she's going from Ingrid the Purifier to Ingrid the Mad.
the mad, yeah, she becomes full on Malkov. Like she becomes completely insane.
Is this psychic activity on the realm affecting the other psychic races?
Well, I think
Oh,
I think for sure Prox is going to realize what happened because it's going to be like a giant shift. Because I think this is going to destroy that Malkavian order too. Like because that was Kurgan's first order. That's the first thing he did. I think they die
Yeah.
along with him. I think they all die doing this to her.
it's like a psychic death throw, basically.
Yeah, it would and even the Nullrogs would feel it, even though they're immune to the psychic energy. I think even they would be like shaken by like what happened. They'd be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the insects feel it.
They all feel it. Anything with a psychic connection, I think, feels it for sure, like you're saying. And now that web they had, like their little spine web, the Malkov spine web they have, it's gone now. So they don't have it
Yeah.
anymore.
And any civilians that were caught up in it immediately have a fractured brain.
Yeah, derangement. Like it may
Over the world.
people all over the world can have derangements.
Start
Like it,
going
yeah.
crazy.
Not full on, like
And
not full on
not
crazy.
crazy. I mean, like
Like-
psychosis is now something in your family.
Like the happening. but they don't all kill themselves, but like stupid shit happens.
Now, how do y'all feel about everything that happened to Ingrid, everything that she just did to make that all happen? Do y'all think, even though she's not the person that she originally was, would that be a step in what did we call it?
Ascension.
Ascension, yeah.
I think it's a step towards batshit crazy. I think she
Oh,
just
no, she's definitely batshit crazy. I'm not saying that she isn't, but
like she might not even pray to a divine god for her to like she might pray to herself. Like she is the righteous theory, and her insanity alone is what now powers her own force.
I
Yeah, I
don't
think
know. See, I don't know. To me, I would see her more as like a seer. Like when she gets so fractured, now she becomes like this omniscient person,
Yeah, like a visionary. Like a visionary.
like a visionary who knows about the prison plane, but she
Oh.
can't. Like
So
she
then-
can't even vocalize it anymore.
How about she gets we'll just call that ascension like Rovexus and Ezra's then, and she's out
Okay.
now.
like
She's-
a full set of ascension.
Yeah, she's part of the world now, like these other characters.
How about this? She lives on in the Ractonian culture as some prophecy that like that's obviously fractured. No one understands what the fuck it means anymore.
Dude, how about we full on
No,
what if we
I-
full on Oracle of Delphi her? What if she becomes like their Oracle of Delphi? Like
Yeah.
she like
yeah,
she-
for the rest of her life until she dies. She's
Yeah.
a seer and
her
prophecies for their whole civilization.
I do have an idea. I love this idea, but the island that she was pulling the energy from, right? That moon island is entirely made of crystal. All the plant life and everything there is crystal. It's one of the things we set way back in the beginning. What is if at the heart of that wonder that they built inside of the Ractonian capital, she had to be there to channel that energy. So now it's literally like the Temple of Ingrid, and she is a living crystal, like a living crystal, still like the Delphi thing that you guys were talking about. But she is now not a Ractonian anymore. She's been
She
turned
becomes
into
living crystal.
she's living crystal.
Like solidified in place, but sentient.
Yeah.
I dig. It gives you a place to have a prophecy
That's-
marker later, like the Oracle does, right?
Yep.
Except it makes it now it's a whole journey. You can't just go to it.
instead of
You have to go
instead of
off.
her being crystal, why don't we make her the tower itself? Like she is that tower now. Like
Okay.
whole, you know what I mean? Like a sentient building almost. Like a I don't
Living
know.
crystal tower.
Yeah, it goes on to like the mirror idea we had before from the other world. But like she's the whole thing. So kind of like the Wailing Well, she
Yeah.
would have layer actions. She would control the whole tower.
I like it.
You know what I mean?
I like it a lot.
Dude, and that's how they continue the tradition. So okay, when you go speak to the Oracle of Delphi in this world, you don't speak to her, you speak to her priestesses. So what they do is they either sacrifice people there or people are born there and then grow up their whole lives there to become these oracles. So what they really are is just people who have been in the tower so long that she has control of them, like mental control, or pushes them in a certain way. You see what I'm saying? But like they have a whole thing in society now where it's like an honor. Yeah, it's like an honor to be this thing now, to work in the tower,
to be the vessel. Yeah,
maybe it's only virgin girls,
and you know what? I bet it'd only be Aractonian females. They'd only want. Yeah. It's like an honor to be a vessel to the goddess. You know how they view her.
And like,
would
maybe
you say that the Order of the Purifier?
I think it survives for sure. Zealots.
Oh yeah, the idea doesn't die.
Might even get a replacement avatar in the next round.
So what does that do? What does that do as far as the Meerkat folk fight goes?
Well,
I think
it would kill off all of their undead that were light sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then they're being attacked by the Kayadun too at this time too. I don't know. They might
give a fuck.
They might. I think they might lose, dude. I think Meerkats. I don't know if they would be destroyed.
How about we leave that up to a dice roll?
Yeah, we could do that.
60-40, 65-35.
I'm thinking 35% chance that the Meerkat managed to hold out.
So 1 to 35, they live.
Yeah,
36 and higher, they're.
Wait, well, no, 1 to 35, they win, right? Like they.
Hey, you want them? Yeah, dude. How about that? How about we give? Yeah, 35% chance they hold out, so they're not completely destroyed like Germany basically was in World War II. But if they get like a 10% chance, they win anyway.
If they get from 1 to 35.
So 1 to 10, they win.
1 to 10, they win.
11 to 35.
1 to 35, they survive, and then if they get a 90 and up, the Meerkat somehow, in the face of everything going on, not only win, but they sweep.
So 35 to 90 is
36 to 90 is their 36 to 89 done.
Yeah, 36.
All right.
If they get that 10 or lower, dude, they won one.
Woo, 13.
They're alive.
Woo, it was close, dude. They almost won. That means they got like within the castle gates of Ractonia before they were beaten back.
Yeah. So
the Meerkats just barely survive.
Yeah, they managed to beat off the Kayadun and the Ractonians all the way back to their capital, and then somehow, I guess that's when she sacrificed herself in the capital, and that's what turned the tide of the war and drove them back.
Yeah.
So not only they survived, they still have their lands and everything. They're just not past that marker. And I think maybe there should be a wall there or something now that definitely separates this.
They build the ruins.
Yeah, so that it never happens again.
I have a question. Now, the Ractonians, the light, all this, their avatar. Now, the Ractonian people as a culture, are they also like, fuck the undead? Or like some of them like, why did we even start shit with these people? Like they weren't doing shit and I didn't have a problem.
I don't think they're like that at all. I think they're like the Romans, dude. I think they're just there, living their lives, doing their thing.
Well, do you think they come to like an impasse where they're like, hey, we're going to build a wall?
Yeah, I think after this conflict, they'd build a wall for sure. But I don't think their whole society is like undead hating.
No, that's why I was asking. Okay, so this is what I was thinking. So technically, the Ractonians started the war. Obviously, they didn't like what they bit off, so they want to build their wall. They wanted to build their wall right after they fucking started the war. What if the Meerkat folk are on the other side of the wall, also building their wall? Saying like they're both like, don't want to fuck with each other at all. You stay out of our shit, we'll stay out of your shit, and then they like co-op, build a wall, valley in between, almost like a DMZ,
like the North Korea, South Korea.
Their DMZ is like a no necromancy and no healing area. So everything in the DMZ has to be allowed to die a natural death, no matter what. Like it cannot be fucked with either way. You can't heal shit there.
Nice.
You can't bring shit back to life there. Period.
And that's the accord. The
that's the accord. Yeah,
they weren't all like zealous. Only like
that's the Kayadun. That's the Kayadun part of the peace treaty too. Is that the Kayadun wanted this area where life would be respected in pure form. Where yep.
So that's perfect.
Where there's no people die a natural death. You don't heal them with magic.
It's a several mile area stretch. It's a big stretch area.
Actually, it's less of a demilitarized zone. It's more of like this weird holy place, if you think about it, because it applies and respects all three of these separate ways of thinking about it.
Oh my God, there's gonna be a temple there.
It is. It would be. It's like a universal religion almost.
What do you guys think about right there?
How about we call it the Kayadun Accords?
The Kayadun Accords. I love it. And like this area, you respect all things. So you don't heal people unnaturally. You don't bring people back from the dead, and people are allowed to exist naturally in this area, period.
Yeah.
And anyone can travel there as long as they follow these rules. So it's not really demilitarized. You know what I'm saying?
Almost like a Mecca.
It's like a mecca of unity, of like actual unity.
Yeah. In Israel, where like everybody learned their lesson and no one wants to piss each other off anymore.
Yeah.
So kind of like a great peace came out of it. Does that make sense? It's kind of it's weird, but
it's gonna be great until a catastrophe just fucking destroys everything. But
the meteor's gonna land right on it.
I'm taking a great peace as soon as it's offered because everything has been chaos and death and tragedy. So something went well for the world.
So next point of happened. What happens with the ritual of Magnetrix and the acid dragon?
All right. So my pitch is the acid dragon agrees to give the sword to Shinto, but he has to swear fealty to the woman in the castle. If he does that, he gets the sword. So that's the decision we have to make. Would he do that?
But then would he give that sword back to her? Yeah.
Was Shinto part of the original 7? That
No.
Well, no, did he know of it? I mean, like,
I'm sure their whole culture knows of it. Yeah, it was a giant thing with the Horde.
Yeah.
And they only know that they've lost contact with the Chroma or
he knows it.
Skarn. Yeah.
Scar.
I think he takes the sword in exchange for the fealty, but then he immediately tries to get the sword to Rend.
Yeah, and tries to use that to usurp his fealty to Ren's fealty.
Now the Magnetrix thing, I think that Barak gets to see the Magnetrix thing happen before anybody else. So while he's down in his terminal where he's building his fortress and the insectoid dragons are trying to prevent it from happening, like it starts shifting and changing all around them, and Magnetrix like comes out of various portals back into the world, like various other dimensions.
So he comes back at the Scar, or like whatever that Scar leads to into the other spot.
Maybe back in the water.
We said Magnetrix. We said Magnetrix was supposed to be a prison plane, right? So the thing that Barak's in is kind of Magnetrix. So him in becoming a physical form again to go back and fight the acid dragon. I think Barak sees it. So now Barak knows that Magnetrix is the prison plane. Like he understands what it is.
Interesting.
He actually sees it happen, like him and his people.
Yeah.
And the insectoid dragons.
That kind of pulls those events together. Barak's building the fortress.
Yeah.
Probably is part of what's making it harder for Magnetrix to come out. But then at the same time, the insectile dragon sabotaging the fortress
allows him to come out.
Allows him to come out. So by proxy of everything going on, go ahead, John.
I was gonna say Zaz. I mean, in my mind, like let's say there was a prison break or something. The insectile locust folk that were originally made that were hive mind were actually made by somebody who had the intent to use them as a device to not only break onto the plane, but then once in the plane, be able to figure out what to take the person out of the thing or whatever it is out. And so they were sent off to the other plane with that mission. And then that data came back here through the combination, but the original race has, you know what I mean? So I was thinking like at this place, he'll find the key. The question is like, so
I'm saying he doesn't
open the portal.
He doesn't find the key. He doesn't find the key. What I'm saying is him and Barak now are the only characters who understand. Yeah. So the key you're talking about is that they now understand that this is a prison. This thing is a prison construct. This whole plane of existence.
You know, I was thinking that Zaz already had that understanding. He didn't understand the context of why that was important, but he understood that part. So I was going to say is like when Magnetrix does Zaz take his opportunity to go through that portal so that he can get into a deeper stage.
I don't think you understand. Magnetrix doesn't come from a portal. Magnetrix is the portal. He is the plane. So now, what I'm saying is what the key he was looking for was understanding. So his key was knowledge. So now he is one of the only two characters who realizes what the whole thing is. whereas like Crovexus and Ezra's all think that they're doing shit when they're not. Remember we said that they're part of a giant
kind of a simulation.
Yeah. So now Barak and Zaz realize it's a simulation, but they're the only two
because they both see him leave.
They literally see him manifest, and now they know what he was from all the stories before. So now they realize that he is this whole Magnatrix is this whole thing.
Like you see him leave, but there's still a portal there when he leaves.
I don't mean like a portal. I mean he just comes out of all the various portals that the Scar Elves know about because they can go inside and outside of them.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? It's like he's a combination of all the things that are imprisoned there.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Because we said that he was the prison plane. That's what we said like 4 ages ago.
Yeah,
so I have to ask, with Magnatrix coming back out, we have a couple of very large players that are locked up inside of him. With him suddenly surging back in a physical form, do you want to roll a small percentage chance that some of those past entities suddenly?
Well, yes. As soon as John said prison break, I instantly got that in my head, like, oh shit, some of them can get back out. So Demon Bear can come back, Crovex can come back, Ezra's can come back.
Yeah, because technically
died. They're in the prison. They're dead physically, but they're
kind of like the nothing. It's kind of like the nothing from Supernatural.
Kind of,
they're
yeah.
There, yeah.
Yes. And when I'm down to get back out. Yeah, they come back to this. Like they come back to the simulation. They come back to our prime material plane, essentially.
Yeah. And the prime material plane is just a trick on them.
Yeah, it's just a trick. So all they do is shift to another spot in the prison. So they went back into General Pop. That's what it is.
So the question is, major players that we know about, Ezra's, percentage chance roll that Ezra's pops back out?
You just want to list them all one at a time now? Yeah, I guess we could do that. Sure, yeah. I don't know. I think the ones who have got Ascension probably have the best chance of getting out, because they're a little more cognizant of what's happening to them, even though they don't.
So like Ezra's, Crovexus,
Crovexus, the Ingrid who just got turned into one, all of them.
What about the Weave?
I mean, he died, so I'd say it's probably less of a chance. Kaisis maybe more because he came back twice. I don't know who else died. Like all the ones that just got killed or dead, I think they have a lower chance because to them they think that they're dead.
I think
they haven't been there long.
The only ones I can think of are Ezra's, Crovexus, Jesus. Man,
I mean,
did we have any other
three? Yeah, the three that made up Magnatrix in the first place in the other story. The three of them would probably have a higher chance of getting back out too and separating. So that was what? That was the
like
Slad, Tide Lord, yeah, Ocean Master, the Slad,
Ocean Master,
and all the people that were sacrificed. Remember all those Amazons? They could all come back because they were all what made Magnatrix in the first place.
Okay,
so the Amazon race.
The list I had is Ezra's, Crovexus, Kazu's, Ocean Master, Trax, and the Amazons.
Man, they're gonna be
who else?
Used motherfuckers.
That's I think that's about it.
We can't say Ren. We can't say Ren yet because Ren's still alive.
She's still here.
Ezra's, Demon Bear.
It makes me think back to our test game though, and remember we couldn't figure out what exact piece of knowledge you'll hit.
Hey, how about Morpheus? Because
there you go,
Yule.
Yule is one. He is, but he has no actions. He's just the well, so he would have a higher chance to come back out too.
Temporis.
Oh, Temporis is the guy I had in mind for my prison. Like if Temporis made it on your list, I was going to have Zaz.
The other ones that we have from back then are Star Master, but he's not dead.
He's actually
inside of the crash island. The Lachey Avatar went back to the Feywilds. Arion?
Malthius would have a chance of coming out because he's in one of the planes.
Technically, Zykiz, the pureblood macaw, is inside of Ezra's prison.
Yeah, I guess they'll have a chance to. I mean, if Ezra comes back out, they're basically out anyway.
Is Ezra's prison? Where's Ezra's prison?
Ezra's prison is a construct within the simulation that Ezra's is in.
Yeah,
he made his own prison inside of the prison.
Yeah, Ezra's actually has Zykiz.
Perception.
What's the other avatar?
We're going 4 levels deep.
He has the meerkat avatar in his stone
Sir.
too.
Just like Inception.
Sir.
He has Sir in his, and he had one other one in
I thought
his.
Sir got like annihilated.
No,
He did.
Sir is inside of.
But Annihilation is still
inside of
being part of
Ezra's.
it.
Yeah, never mind. Yeah,
He's inside of Ezra's.
I feel like this is a Marvel comic. Like nothing really dies.
Yeah.
Oh,
I feel like nothing's
right.
ever really died.
There is one more that we need to add to the list.
Oh Lord,
Chroma.
the Chroma.
Yep.
Yeah, I would say Alatoon she's in the sword. So she's
She's
All right,
already
That's
out.
what this chaos world is. So like this iteration of it is just one. The last chaos one was like what happens when it bubbles off chaos and then it comes back. It just
dude, if a Chroma and Kuzis both get out, they're going to immediately go weave. Like, I missed you so much. Weave.
No, not a Morka, and not
Oh
We-
yeah.
Weave has a
Chroma,
chance too.
the original lizard folk guy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you should get a
We
Morka.
said that the other half of Weave, I thought was dead.
No one's ever dead. They all have a
No
chance.
one's ever dead.
He just has less of a chance of coming out because he didn't hit it. Well, no, he did hit Ascension before he died. Yeah, he would have the
Yep.
same chance as the rest of them.
Okay,
It's
so
Kuzis,
Morka.
yeah.
they're saying that as soon as they die, they go back into Manatrix to be
Yeah.
held.
Okay, so
Yeah.
We've got our list. What do you guys are going to be doing the rolling? But
You want to handle rolling?
what
or someone?
percentage chance does Ezra's have?
I say that's probably the
Ooh.
most. What? Okay, he's the most powerful.
I say him, Crovexus, and the Weave counterparts have the highest chances. So, each.
So Ezra's 45%.
I think that the highest. Well, okay. So first off, I think any percent should be low, like the highest.
Like
percent
25%?
25, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, like
25%.
But I think that the highest should be the ones involved in Manatrix itself, right? Because that amalgamation has the
Yes.
most access.
Yes, they should be the highest, those three.
So the ones
So
that
let's
make
do,
that-
okay. So then let's
Ocean
say
Master.
Ezra's and Crovexus are going to be 20%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Ezra's
then
is 20%. Crovexus, you said 20%.
20%.
And how many-
Then Weave is 15.
Or is Weave coming out as separate parts or as the same? Like
Separate
as
parts.
Weave, or are they going to come out as
So,
a Morka?
Kuzis and a more.
separate parts. It's
Yeah, you
only
said-
the iteration of the simulation where the weave came together.
You said 25% on those two?
No, 15.
But cases, I don't know. I like 20 for cases. I don't know. That motherfucker
All right,
just keeps coming
20,
back.
20 for Kazus then.
He just keeps coming back. It's like he's power is built. You know,
A Chroma.
he came back 3 times.
15.
15.
He even came back post weave.
And you said the things that make up so Ocean Master tracks the Amazons. What are we doing on them?
Yeah,
25.
25.
I'm
25
hoping.
on all them.
All I'm thinking is how many are on the list? 5 or 6?
On this list right now, like 10 to 15?
Oh no, we're only taking a handful of these.
Alright.
One,
I want Demon Bear on there too. 10%.
I've got 10.
Okay.
Temporis.
See, now this
Temporis?
is interesting because Temporis, we're trying to say from the beginning, it was the beginning of all this shit in the first
Yeah,
place.
Temporis is the prison.
Like,
Is
basically, the more I think about it, I think this whole thing might be Temporis's. Remember Temporis's contingency plan that would save all the races if something bad happened?
Mm-hmm.
I think that this whole thing might be that. Like, that's
Who
what this is. So he'd probably have a high chance of coming out too then.
Let's give
Yeah.
him a 30.
Yeah, I was gonna say
30.
if he comes out, that's who I was gonna have Sass to either report to or he.
Malthus.
He's interesting too
15.
because he went to a whole other plane of
Oh, yeah.
existence and survived there somehow.
And you want
Let's give him a 20%.
I'll give him a 20.
Didn't Demon Bear blow himself up?
Yeah, Demon Bear.
Not blown
is-
up.
Yeah, he's like 10%.
He's got 10. I think Skarn's got 10 because he got blown up, and the Waka Plaka has a 10% chance too.
I
All
think
three of them blew themselves to nothing.
I think the relation of it of their likelihood is a relation of the balance or of power, but also of like the strength of the legend that currently exists. So that's why like
Oh,
so
we
10% on Demon Bear.
powerful.
Yeah.
Skarn,
10%.
Wacka Placka.
10%.
Dead.
And what about the master of the master of the levers?
Oh,
Centennial.
he's not dead.
He's not dead.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
in
he's
space.
exists, right? He
Yeah.
exists in all the metal. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh Lord.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and start rolling. Ezra's
Nope.
didn't make it. Cravexis
Oh, Crovexus. Nope.
didn't make it. Kazoos
Cassis the Black.
Nope.
didn't make it. Ocean
Highest
Master
roll. Nope.
didn't make it.
He's
Trax
going his dog duty.
No, God.
No one's gonna make it.
It's a perfect
Amazons.
planet. That's what I was about to say. If there's like a 1 in 5 chance and we're rolling like 10, it's like only 1 or 2.
Temporis.
Come on, Temporis, roll a 15. Yeah,
Boom.
there you go. Tells you.
He's in.
It's all about Temporis.
Made it.
That was the whole plan, right?
Malthus.
Temporis' dirty ass.
Oh,
Get a
That's
big
his
it.
whole perfect form.
Achroma
nope.
didn't make it. Amorca
Ah,
what
hold on.
about what's
Oh, that was a D10. Hold on.
she's stuck in a sword. Never mind.
Morka. Nope.
didn't make it. Demon Bear
10% chance. Nope.
I only blew myself up once.
Skarn
What was his percentage?
10.
10.
10? Okay.
Waka Plaka
Oh,
Man.
for love of God, please no. Thank God.
Temporis. Hey, no, Waka Plaka could have worked. The only reason he was he was taken over by
Okay,
an
so Temporis and Malthus come back.
All right.
We have to address that now.
Waka Plaka. Yeah,
Mm.
so I really do believe that the person that's made for Temporis, it may be made by Temporis. I think that's what you're suggesting, Joey, as some mechanic to like create some kind of thing to prevent.
Yeah,
Some
Temporis was created by the Chronics to ensure the survivability of 3 races. So when he died, what I'm saying happened is he made Madritrix into a prison plane and created an infinite loop where things would never actually ever. He twisted into things will never die. So if you die, you go to this other plane of existence and you continue to exist.
He did
Yep.
the Macaw folk, the Anthropomorphs, and which other race?
The Chronics.
Oh,
The
the
3 of
Chronics.
them.
The pure Macaw folk and the Chronics return then.
Yep. Because the Anthropomorphs are already here. Now the question is, do they return to the spot that they died at, which would be on the bottom of the ocean, absorbed into the reef with the rest of the metal? No. Or do they
No, no.
return to the place?
No, it's where he save stated them. So they
Yeah.
return to their ruined city.
That's under the water.
Yeah, that's where that reef is, right?
Who the reef is?
The pure Macaw folk, not the metal ones.
No, I'm talking about the
No,
Chronics.
no, we're talking about the Chronics.
The metal
No.
gnomes hit the Chronics with their entire like.
Oh yeah,
Remember,
on the ocean.
the Star Metal Island hit off the coast of that.
Oh, and create a tsunami that killed them. Okay,
That's right.
yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
yeah, so they return here, and the Macaw folk return smack dab in the middle of the now.
Paradise Island. The
Fortress.
Raptonians are like, who the fuck are these guys?
No, yeah, they appear right here, right where the slad was.
No.
right?
No,
Right
they
here.
were one over. Because they had the Amazons. Remember?
Yep. So Temporis's return, when
Are
he
there
comes
any
back, he immediately
metal-
puts out the save state and shunts the 2 save stated races back into existence.
Are the metal macaws still alive?
No,
No,
they're at the
crashed
bottom of the water with the metal gnomes.
If
Bottom,
he's if we're calling it a
So,
save,
the
if we're calling it a
diseases-
save state, then the Animorphs have to come back here too. Then, so all the Animorphs that die, just
Oh,
like
yeah.
they all come back right back to where they were at.
Yeah, but the world, he only save stated the race, not the cities.
Yeah. So, but
So
they're
only
here.
2 of the save stated race came back. Since Demon Bear doesn't come back, the dead animal.
No, the dead Animorphs do because the race itself came back. Demon Bear, I believe, was created. Was he created before?
Yeah, he came through.
After.
Then if he was created before, then he would come back too.
I think he was.
No.
Well, what to go back and
It was
check.
after.
I think he was almost immediately after they showed up. Right?
I don't remember,
The
dude.
first thing that happened was the Proteus order, and then we played around with the throat. It wasn't until like the entire next age that Demon Bear came
It was
out.
after the metal gnomes crashed back down to Earth and killed the Chronics. That's when Demon Bear came about.
Yes, you're right. So, yeah, so he's not. He doesn't
Demon
have
Bear
that.
would not return, but all the other things that were here would.
Yep.
Oh Lord! All right.
Is that
Take
the
it back
same
down to my.
too? The buildings, everything, or
And Temporis, Temporis is
Right now,
with.
we have three different factions of the Anthropomorphs.
Yeah.
We have the original Anthropomorphs. We have the
So call them the true Anthropomorphs. The
Well, actually, all of the Shadar Wallace's
Or
Anthropomorphs are dead.
Yeah, they're undead. Yeah, were they killed by the
Well, no,
light?
they're dead. They were vampires, and then they got smoked by the giant ball of light.
Okay.
did they get
If you're
smoked?
okay with that.
Well, they weren't by any moonlight, or were they by the Twilight Island? They were over here, right?
I thought she
Well,
encompassed the entire world in radiance. That's what I thought happened.
which makes sense for the meerkat having trouble.
I was saying she blasted light down on all these spots, and it just happened that the Dampier City is on one of these moonlight spots right here.
Yeah.
But if you want to make it like a flash to hit the whole world, I'm cool with that too.
I think it sounds
Yeah.
I
good.
thought it was a whole world, but I thought it was like a 70% of the twilight goes away. So like in the darkest of depths, it's not like 30%.
Well, yeah, like underground. Yeah, but Shadar Wallace and all them were not underground. They were like actually in the Quaddle ruins.
Okay,
So-
I'm good with it. But that's what happens there. The other question I have to ask is what exactly does Malthius do now? Malthius is the one who created the original Disc of Judgment, right?
Oh yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's the other one.
He's
that
going
came
to
back?
go set up a base at the Disc of Judgment, Frank.
Wait, he's the one that came back, right?
Yep.
Okay, so at
He's
the
the
end
one
of
that came back.
Right. No, didn't he do something? After he created the Disc of Judgment, didn't he like run away?
He started
Yeah.
fucking. He started fucking with the Shadow Realm, which started
He
driving
went
him
into
mad,
the Underdark,
and
yeah.
then he went into the Shadow Realm. So he's probably
Yeah.
crazy when he comes back.
Yeah, he's crazy
also-
as shit.
He's also a shadow version because he absorbed power from the Dragon Heart of Shadow.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a shadow magic. Remember, we said it was like a mental thing. So he's
Yeah.
I don't know. He's still him, but he's just crazy with some kind of psychic powers.
With a
Madness
fully functional Disc of Judgment.
with a foot, yeah, but that is infused with a weird spores instead
Yep.
of energy.
Yeah, but
Okay.
how hard would it be for him to just use it on the sun? Like again.
Yeah, or would he even change it? I don't know. He's crazy now. So
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Hmm.
That was a lot of stuff just from that. Let's see, what else do we have going on here?
We have the war between the Darkscar elves and the Troglodytes.
Yeah, the Trog and Darkscar War.
Was there a full war?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Centaur started a war with the Darkstar elves. And then and Barak had started to place a fortress next to the portal when all that was going on.
Yep.
yeah, I think
So-
the Dark Scar Elves might lose that just because all that shit happens down where they're building their fortress at, and I'm assuming that's where the war is happening at, right?
And I'm
Yeah.
assuming that like some kind of
Who-
infiltration was happening to the
Who do
point.
the Durgar side with? Do they side with Cento or do they side with the Darkscar elves? To me, I think they would side with Cento.
Yeah,
Eternal?
Cento made them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably side with them.
So the Darkscar elf civilization is destroyed.
How about John saying the idea? Maybe they go deeper into the terminus, like into their terminal. Like they go deeper into the prison world, into this
Okay.
part of the prison world they found.
So they flee into the prison world.
Yeah,
I think
I like that idea.
yeah, I think the conclusion would be communication stops between the two people.
Yeah.
One group can't go too far down without like scouts or something, like without an order, because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they flee into the prison world to escape from Cento, but Cento doesn't follow.
Okay.
And the Eternal, I don't know if they have a response to it because I think they're in their own little section.
They're pretty neutral about the whole thing.
Yeah, as long as nobody goes inside of them.
I think they're probably scrambling to repair whatever fucking happened with the prison break.
Damage.
Wasn't their
Yeah.
job to like
Uh-huh.
maintain the technology down there?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, they're probably going after the Darkscar elves, who have now fled into their world.
What if they're going after the escapees? Like they're going after Temporis and Malthus.
Oh, jeez.
What do you think? Like they have like a
I like it.
make-
Yeah, they
they
would
can
have
have like
good.
a special division of dwarves that like it's their job to hunt down
And they
like U.S. Marshals to hunt down escapees from Magnetrix.
How about the Eternals build the Inevitables?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because there's been that whole like idea of mechanists involved with this somehow. So that to me would make sense that they would start building Eternals to hunt them down.
And their soul and like all they do is hunt down things that escape from Magnetrix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens with the Magnetrix and the Acid Dragon, and what happens with Alun and Rend?
I think the Acid Dragon was part of the mechanism that started the ability for whatever first created the prison to have the power to do it. But the thing is that's why there were all those primordial dragons, all their power and information to cause it to happen. So since it's only one dragon versus the entity of Magnetrix, the prison itself almost.
See, I have a pitch for it. Okay, John. So you want a thing that started this whole thing to begin with, right? That sent the locust to the other world, that brought the locust here, that did all of these things. What if it's the lady in the castle and she wants the dragon to fight Magnetrix to weaken him enough so she can leave that fucking castle that she's stuck in? Because this whole prison,
Magnetrix is the reason she's stuck in the castle.
the whole prison is to keep her in that fucking castle. This whole thing is to keep her in the castle.
So whatever
Okay.
she is,
So like
the lady in
when
the
she
castle.
died, all of that is all still one part of a mechanism designed for keeping her, and not just in the castle, like in the simulation
itself.
that is represented by the castle.
Yeah, in this plane, right? In this
Yeah,
prime
in this
material
whole
plane.
Like she is sleeping somewhere in that prison plane, and
Yeah.
she knows that. Like she knows that she's just a simulation right now. So,
and she's manifested as this lady in this castle. And the fight between the Acid Dragon, he's not strong enough to stop Magnetrix, but he weakens him just enough where she can leave the castle now.
I think we now have like a through line for the age creation myth to the point of whatever this husk will be once it's no longer a prison planet, if that even happens.
Okay, so does Alun give Ren back her power? Does Ren get the
Before
sword?
we touch on that, you said that does Magnetrix actually beat the Acid Dragon?
Yeah, I think he does. But I think the dragon wounds him.
yeah.
I got that.
And the ice dragon finally wakes up.
Since it seems like the Acid Dragon waking up was like the first major crack in the prison's holding system, because it literally like almost immediately woke up and popped out of the mountain.
Yeah.
Do you think that Magnetrix would just return the dragon to its resting point?
You know what? I kind of like that idea, dude.
I think that isn't in my mind the black dragon, the frost dragon, all these dragons, the primordials were part of the gate, part of the lock mechanism, or part of like the power used to close the door in the first place.
I always like the idea of them sacrificing their bodies to be like the final part of the lock. Remember we had that idea? Like they each gave themselves to complete the lock.
So Magnetrix is going to put him back in the caldera, basically.
Yeah, back in the caldera. I like that idea. Yeah. Yeah, dude, he like puts him back in the caldera and like his body solidifies and the mountain becomes the actual mountain again. So it reforms this mountain.
The acid pool on top.
And the acid pool on top, and like the little at the top is a little pool of acid, like a little acid volcano, like it was originally before it exploded.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
When we come back next time, I'm using my create avatar to create the child of Kaz's. I want to make the tail.
That's if they all survive, John. We still have a lot of shit still going on. All right, so now we have to figure out, does Sento... So Sento does give the Sword of Alatun to Rend. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah. With all the 7 dragon souls plus
Well,
the
yeah.
soul of what's her
Dude, and if it was the last panel of a comic book, Steve, after he stuffs the dragon back in the mountain and it starts to reform, he like turns, looks over his shoulder, Magatrix does, and he looks up to the sun, to the third sun. Like far off, you're like, oh, you're next, motherfucker.
the
You're
magma.
going back. Yeah. Hey, he gives him that look like you're next, dude.
No wonder I'm losing power. You fuck. What are you doing?
I'm gonna set shit straight.
Definitely. I do like that. I think Sento would definitely give back the sword because in his mind, like, I know that the troglodytes are an offshoot from the original lizard folk.
Yeah, but she's an old god to them, dude. For sure, you're right. Like she would have reverence.
Yeah,
super reverence.
She's like the first one. She's the first one who ascended. She's the very first, like from this world.
Yeah. So now, what does that do with Rend, who now has 7 of her swordsman's souls and their energy, and Alatun, Akroma's daughter?
I think that.
What does she do with the sword?
I don't think that she can control the power of the sword. I think she's going to have to convince Alatun to give it back to her. So she's going to have to use all of her gamesmanship and all the shit she's done for centuries, thousands of years, and she's going to have to try to convince her mortal enemy to give her back her power.
I think that. Go ahead.
I was saying, can this be a stasis situation? Like they're embittered and locked inside of this sword, having this conversation, this power of will the entire time.
Oh, yeah, like I don't think this is something that was resolved in this age. I think it'll be
I
next age.
don't think that it resolves right now. I think that as long as she has the sword, she retains her immortal status.
What if
Yeah.
Sento?
She has to,
What if she tells Sento that she's dying, and the only way that she has a chance now is if he slays her with the sword? So she goes into the sword with Alatun, right? Like I like this idea of them being in there together.
Yeah. That's
Oh, yeah.
But now her mortal form is gone, so she exists inside the sword. But when Sento does this, he doesn't realize that now he's cursed to stay in that fucking prison because now he's in possession. He's basically in possession of Rend, so he can't leave now.
Oh, yeah.
He can't just leave the sword there. So he's stuck in the halls of Geisig with the sword.
Sento becomes the keeper of the Geisig.
Keeper of the game.
I have a question. Okay. So I like that. I didn't even think about but what if instead of it's a trick, like Sento knowingly becomes like the guardian for no, I will allow your soul to go in the sword so you can get your power back and have that fight, and I'll be the one here guarding the sword
until you come back.
Yeah, I like that.
Until you come back.
Almost
because Sento's been so straightforward the whole time. Sento has not been
how
a very
about this?
deceiving individual.
How about for the first time in a long time, she is completely honest with him and tells him what's going to happen to him if he does this. So she gives him Ren becomes honest with one person ever, him, and tells him because he's her savior, right? Like how do you want to think about it?
He was to bring the sword, right? He had no extra motivation. She had no power. She had no leverage.
None. Yeah.
And so he the Last Crusade, he's sitting there,
yes, right. Exactly, holding the sword, sitting in the throne sitting on Ren's throne, just holding the sword, dude, waiting for something to happen, waiting for that to resolve itself.
Yep, and because he has a sword, he's immortal now, so he can wait forever.
Yeah. And now he's now he's ascended. Now he's reached his final ascension. So now he's Sento, guardian of the sword.
I was going to say Sento, guardian of the Geisig.
Guardian of the Geisig. Okay.
The sword now is the Geisig.
Only
because throughout years and all of that, it's been so loose now that it's just the game, the sword.
Yeah. So go ahead.
If it was a module, the entire Halls of Geisig would be a giant Tomb of Horrors because it's designed by the oldest trap master in the entire world. Mm-hmm. So the entire place is booby trapped to hell if you try to get in and get the sword. You can make a whole dungeon based on it.
With kobolds, metal kobolds.
With robotic kobolds. radioactive kobolds.
Now, before all that happens, Ren did make 7 weird eggs. I don't know if they're going to create creatures or they're artifacts, but she imbued essentially the essence of a sin into each one of the eggs and then cast them onto the world.
What if it's an
What's happening
essence?
with those?
Yeah, what if the sins aren't like biblical sins? It's the 7 betrayals that she wrought to get herself into the halls of Isaac. So
Sure.
it's like 7 specific things that she did across her life that she regrets.
And it becomes like the trials of Hercules kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking that they're not physical things, like John's saying. Maybe they're trials or maybe they're adventures or quests that she sent down to the world. So you never end up like her, maybe? Does that make sense? I like the idea of trials, man.
Like the idea that she's trying to basically atone
Make
for all of her sin.
Make amends, yeah, for what she did.
Yeah.
We're going to definitely have to flesh that out at some point, but I love that idea.
All right. So what do I need to put here right now for the resolution right here?
She sent 7 trials
far
to
as
the
mine.
world.
Yeah, she sent 7 trials to the world.
And once all 7 trials have been completed, something happens.
Something related to the Geisig, maybe related to her, maybe related to.
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with the Geisig. I think it has to do with just Ren particularly.
Maybe it's like a samurai thing, dude. Like people who start these quests for these trials think that it's for like personal power, but really it's just like philosophy. It's like to understand what it means to be good or to be like a god, to be a real god, like something that protects things or protects the world, not selfish.
Yeah, I was gonna say I had an idea for, and I know this is more like, but so you said you got the dragon eggs, but they pulled the essence from the magma dragon son, right?
No, she pulled
From
the
herself.
last of her own essence.
Last of her own essence.
The thing that was keeping her ageless before she did it, she channeled that into each one of the eggs.
Those are her own eggs.
Wait,
No, they were the eggs of lunar dragons.
Okay.
It also tracks with her anyway because she was always about giving her power. See, that's the thing. She started off like very benevolent. If we remember how we first made her, she was giving power to everybody and sharing. And then at some point she realized that people didn't deserve it and she took it all back. And that's when she became very controlling.
Callous.
Yeah. What I was
Very
saying,
megalomaniacal.
what if she found a way to tap into that god power of the sun, but she couldn't use it herself? But she found a system that she felt with all of her years, the gaming, the Geisig, her being in power in the beginning, and said, if somebody passes these 7 trials, they'd be able to tap into an avatar level power.
I think we should flesh this out later because we should still knock out the catastrophes because it's already 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going for endurance run.
That's
Y'all want to make sure that I'm tired tomorrow while I go to work.
I know. That's what I'm thinking, Steve.
Can I pitch something real quick? Steve, instead of them being eggs, what if she took out parts of herself and that's what she cast down? So what if when he got to her, she was so weak because she wasn't all there anymore? Like maybe she cast down like her kidney or her heart, like things about her body that represent the mistakes she made. That's what she cast down.
I like that idea better. Actually.
But she was like when he got to her up there, she's like in pieces almost. You get what I'm saying, dude? That's how weak she is. She's like a piece of what she was before. So when he kills her, it's also kind of like a mercy.
Yeah,
it's a mercy kill.
Right. So maybe it's her heart. I don't know. We can come up with organs or maybe parts, maybe part of her scale or something. Things that people can tangibly find. But like when they find them in these quests, they don't give them any power really. They just give them like the knowledge of, you know what I mean, dude? Like it should be represented to who's questioning like it's a thing. But it's not.
You can get all of them together.
Yeah, maybe, and then maybe all it does is like I don't know, whatever it is, it's not gonna be what they think it is.
I'm saying like the power is only the equivalent of like making you the same kind of level avatar she was at the very beginning when she was made.
Maybe, or maybe it's all about like once you get everything, you have to choose to share it again, like she did to fit it back. I don't know, but whatever it is. I mean, what do you think about that? Pieces of her?
It's something that we will have to flesh out, and it's something that.
This is the end of the age.
Yes.
Yeah, it's apocalypse.
At the beginning of the age, right?
We roll it out at the end of the session of the age. It's what's happening during the next age.
Okay,
yeah,
so
that's how the next age starts out.
Okay, so each of us have to roll 4 disasters that will take place during the next age.
That's how the last one played out, just because that's how we talked about it. The first one happened all at the same time.
Yeah.
We all
but
roll
that's-
D50, right?
Yeah.
1D50.
Okay.
Is it a 50? I don't even remember. It's been a minute.
It's D50.
50.
Yep.
All right. 19, 24. Oh, that's a lot of the same area.
Yeah, 23, 24, 19, and 30.
I know we're all looking to see what we got now.
Magic age.
19 is a worldwide temperature shift.
Yeah. 23
Dark sun.
is the formation of a bandit nation. No, that's 20. That was 22. 23, formation of a bandit order within a nation.
Formation of a ley line is what I got, and 30 is loss of tech. All right, so my pitch is I'm going to pitch that the alien plant grows out over the entire world, doesn't cover it, but strands of it grow to all parts of the world. These vines, and these vines are now these magical ley lines that cover the world now from this unnatural growth that came from the heavens, from this thing here. So the epicenter of it is this whole thing. And you can just draw like green lines over the world, and that's where these ley lines are.
Event. The entire prison planet has been transported because of these ley lines to a far plane area.
Yeah.
Maybe not with the prison.
The loss
All
of
right.
tech. Do we have any worldwide tech that everybody had access to?
What if we say that? Okay, so loss of tech.
I
What if we
think
say during the
knowledge-
entire age, no one can access the destroyed remnants of the labyrinth, anamorph, or fallen disc. Malpheus, who already has access to this.
I was actually thinking.
Did you breathe in that entire phrase?
Possibly not.
What were you saying, Steve?
I was thinking with how much of the Predator style tech has been destroyed, and the fact that we haven't seen any Predators like on plane in a hot minute, maybe all of the Predator tech suddenly just shuts off.
I was thinking that maybe there's no teleportation because a lot of these races have teleportation tech
Yeah.
that go for various things, and maybe these ley lines fuck with that, so nothing can teleport during this.
Okay, I like that. I do like that actually.
And the raise in temperature is easy, right? It's because all these vines grew out, so these create like higher temperatures across the whole.
Unless you had a portal in the dark sun.
Yeah, all of it's fucked up. So the portal is shut off.
So the Bifrost doesn't work either.
Bifrost doesn't work for this age, at least. Yeah, until they get
It
rid of these.
also means that the gravitational pull that was dragging the moon between the planes.
Shit.
Wait. I was about to say, does that?
Yeah,
That
it was
moon, I think that moon, since it was on an outward cycle, just
It
drifts
floats off.
into space.
just
Yeah.
off the space. Maybe, yeah.
Go around the planet?
Would it pull them by the planet's gravity? I mean, yeah, probably. I don't know though, dude. I mean, if we're getting into actual physics, we've put so much shit up there.
Yeah.
All
knows?
kinds of stuff could be happening.
Yeah, I'm not even
Realistically. I like the idea of it floating out into space. I think that's interesting.
on a larger orbit.
Yeah, because if it ever gets turned back on, who knows what will happen, right? Because more acceleration with a higher mass equals more force when it actually comes back in. So if it got pulled from further out, it'd be far, far worse when it comes back next time.
No, that's the thing that affects magic, doesn't it?
Yeah. So it's gonna
that's
go. It's gonna go further away, and there's already magical ley lines. It's gonna be super magic next round, dude. There's
Well,
ley
no,
lines
very
all
magic.
over.
There's no extra magic if the portal itself. I didn't think the portal was going to close. Like not that portal. And the only reason is like the extra.
There's extra magic already from the ley lines, and now the moon that
ley
was
line.
suppressing the magic is leaving.
Did we say the temperature goes up because of the plant life?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. I think that makes sense.
Oh, so it's in the dark sun world, the moon, not on this world.
No,
it's
it's
in our
on
moon.
this world. It just
It's just way the fuck away from the
way
planet.
off into space.
Remember, it drifts around and then comes back down, then goes through, then drifts around, then comes like a figure eight. Like Steve says exactly what it would be.
Yeah, because as it comes out, it's going around again in its orbit, and then
It was on its way out in our orbit to come back around, and that's when it got turned off. Which I don't mind the idea of it still circling, but I like the idea of it going away. I thought that'd be interesting. Just so later, if it comes back, like in 2,000 years in the modern age, they see a giant moon cascading towards their planet, and they're like, "Oh shit, we can't Armageddon this bitch. It's way too big." Like, I need the best oil drillers in the world.
Well, how big was it though? If it went right through the eye, the eye is not that big. Unless people move onto it and build up on it.
As it opened, so it stretched. Like gravity was condensed near the.
Oh, so it actually crushes. It actually like basically shrinks it down. It lowers the amount of space between the atoms, thus making it smaller.
Because it's going through a black hole, so it reduces its mass. And then increases its mass, comes back out.
Atoms themselves, yeah.
You guys are all fired.
Or it's just a really small moon. I guess.
Really small moon.
they're like, oh, it looks huge in the sky. They're like, oh no! And by the time it hits the ground, it's the size of a marble.
I'm going to be honest with you, though. We haven't really decided how much space is inside of one of these hexes.
That's true.
Well, 402,000 miles.
Yeah, each one of these hexes is 10,000 miles long.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, depending on what we decide, that could still be a significant size.
The Earth is actually flat in real life.
We're not doing this again.
This spot right here.
John, stop.
There's no ice balls.
That's the Earth. That's the actual Earth on this prison planet.
Hey, so dude, remember the increased vegetation?
So don't forget about the Bandit Nation.
The Bandit Nation, yes, they have to be formed in response to these ley lines, I think. So I think we should make fucking like magic pirates, dude. And like all they do is try to siphon off the magical energy from these vines and shit.
Which nation though do they come from?
Anthropomorphs.
The remnants. I was gonna say the remnants of the Horde.
Ooh, the Horde?
Well, just the remnants.
I think
They
are the most populous at the moment.
It's gotta be the Null Rogs, bro, because they'd want to be all over that magic, just getting fucking roided up on it. Just fucking
fucking no wrong pirates. That's nice.
Pirates, dude, and all they're doing is trying to suck up all that ley line goodness, getting juiced on that gear. You know what I'm talking about?
You know what we could do is Bandit Nation, Bandit,
Wait, are you saying the Null Rogs become a bandit nation?
I mean like a group of Null Rogs create a ley line. So it's not just pirates, it's like Tortuga.
No, that's what I'm saying. They become the actual humongous wasteland raiders. Instead of gasoline, they're after ley line magic. So they just roam around stealing it all.
The Null Rogues become freebooters.
Yeah, freebooters. Exactly. It's literally Mad Max.
Oh my gosh.
All right, guys.
Siphoning pirates.
I kind of like the idea of everybody taken into that, though. That kind of seems neat.
No, it's actually an order. It's actually an order.
If it's an order, you could put them with every single civilization, and that's what they do. Is like they steal the magical power.
Yeah. And you could have the order have
an order of magical pirates forms. Okay, of magical siphoning pirates.
But the head of that order should definitely
be a
Null Rog. It should be a Null Rog, though, dude. The person who created it should definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a nation of bandits, and I was like, "Oh, dope!" Then one of these races
is dope too.
Makes a nation of bandits.
We could do that too.
Like they find one of these fucking islands. Oh, I know where it is. In between the magma, that perfect place that's never been populated. You know, the little fertile areas inside of all. Yeah, that would be like a perfect little spot to break out from, right? Like, oh look, it's paradise here. No one knows about it, and we have access to all the waters.
It is interesting how the RNG works out really well.
All right, guys.
Be based near the actual island itself.
So,
I think this place is like
we have been the Bull Critters Corner, and this has been Project Epoch. I'm Bull Critter Steve, and I'm gonna let the other guys say their piece.
Bye. I'm tired.
that was monumental.
That was
next week. We'll see if we can find all of Pookie's face. It's hiding.
He invented Napster. Seth Green will tell you. Seth Green will tell you.
Thank y'all for showing up. Hope y'all had a lot of fun, and we will see you guys next week.
That's right. Y'all have a wonderful evening.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Just no bats.
No bats.